And welcome to Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs Baseball. I'm Pete Peglera bringing you all the action here tonight. It is the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs facing off against the Saugerties Stallions in a hot one tonight from Little Falls, New York at Vets Memorial Park. We're just about ready to get going here. We'll give you lineups momentarily. On the mound for Mohawk Valley is Matt Kurek. First pitch delivered to wrong player. Cooper Schmidt for ball one. So it'll be Cooper Schmidt batting first, followed by right fielder number 2, Michael Hanna. The second baseman is number 11, Steven Ramirez. The left fielder, number 45, is Danny Surwek. First baseman is number 12, Ryan Resio. The extra hitter, number 9, Mike Coelho. The count now is 2-0. Third baseman is number 17, Nick Rochi. So catching is number 25, Anthony DePiro. The shortstop is number 20, Aiden Schmidt. And in center field for the Stallions is number 47, Jack Beal. 2-1 count now to Cooper Schmidt with Kurek ready to deliver on pitch number 4 here. Here's the windup and the pitch. And it's fouled off, and the count now even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the Saugerties Stallions in town on a very, very hot evening here tonight, folks, from Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls. Two balls and 2 strikes. I believe temperature 91, I'm being told. And it feels all of 91. And that ball is hit to left field into fair territory. And Schmidt's going to head to second base for a stand-up double to start this game off. So Cooper Schmidt starts off with a double for the Stallions. So here's Michael Hanna, the right fielder, number 2. And the bats from the left side here for the Stallions. Stallions wearing their charcoal tops, blackish charcoal look with gray pants. Runner at second taking a short lead. That is Cooper Schmidt. Here's Kurek now. Takes a look at the runner at second and winds and delivers and does so outside for ball 1 and the count 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that's a called strike 1. The count now 1-1. For the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs in center field tonight is Colin Richter. He's batting first. The right fielder batting second is Jake Hardy. Batting third is the shortstop, Byron Arias. First baseman is Connor Scallon, and left field is Jake Dolan. Catching tonight, Joe Crenshaw. The second baseman is Nolan Colby. DHing for the Dogs tonight, Kyle Coleman. And the third baseman is Roberto Valdez. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to Hanna. And 2-1 pitch. Coming shortly is Kurek looks at the runner at second base and delivers the pitch down low and outside for ball 3. And the count now 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike. A little bit of a breeze finally strolling in here. You can't really feel it, as the flag now blowing out here in center field. 3-1. There's the windup and the pitch. And that one misses for ball 4, so Michael Hanna will take a walk to first base. And that'll put runners on first and second to start things off here in the top of the first for the Stallions. So second baseman Steven Ramirez, number 11, bats from the left side of the plate, will step into the batter's box ready to face Matt Kurek. Kurek here with nobody out in the top of the first. He's got runners on first and second already. And here is Steven Ramirez at the plate awaiting the pitch. Kurek glances at the runner at second base and now winds and delivers and has popped up into left field. And the left fielder unable to make the play in foul territory. And so the count jumps to 0-1. So no balls on a strike. Ramirez will head back to the plate. Thirsty Thursday tonight here at the ballpark. Good night for Thirsty Thursday with the hot weather. We got a lot of cool beverages hanging around here. So if you still are at home, you want to come down and catch some baseball, we will keep you cool. Pick up some sodas or adult beverages or waters, and you can stay nice and cool and watch this game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one is fouled off, and the count now 0-2. And if you're at home, well, I'm sure you're nice and cool. Got the air conditioning on, feet up, and listening to the ball game. How about a shout out to Team USA Soccer? Big win last night for the Americans. It was great to see the Americans win that game and move on. A lot of excitement for that U.S. team right now. Here's the pitch, and that is down low. And they count 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, runners on first and second here for the Stallions, and out runs Crenshaw to talk to his pitcher. Takes a quick jog out there, does Crenshaw to talk to Matt Keurig. And in the meantime, a new set of baseballs coming into the game for the umpire. So Crenshaw all set. And he gets given the balls to give to the umpire, and it doesn't seem like the umpire wants them right away. All right, everybody's all set. Balls get put away, and we're going to play baseball here. 1-2. Steven Ramirez at the plate. He's got runners on first and second with nobody out top of the first. Keurig glances at the runner at second base a couple times before he winds and delivers. That one's hit the first base, and it gets by the first baseman, and it's going to head out to right field. The run will score, and the runner will head to third base. So runners now on first and third with a run scored as that one got past Connor Scallon at first base. So Danny Sierowek now the batter. He's the left fielder for the Stallions. Another left-handed bat for Saugerties. So Sierowek, left fielder. And he's got runners on the corners with a 1-0 advantage and nobody out here in the top of the first. Here's the windup and the pitch in the dirt, stop by Crenshaw on the count 1-0. So a ball and a strike. So Dogs losing last night, 10-10 on the season. Sorry, I missed a couple of games. 12-12 on the season. I knew it was 500. Struggles still continuing for the Dogs as they're trying to get through. Well, they've gotten through June, so now they've got starting July, hopefully to get on a little bit of a tear here, as this is one important month right before the midst of the playoffs. So it all comes down to July to make sure you're in a good playoff spot. And here comes the entire team with the conference on the mound with a 2-0 count. Let's talk to Matt Keurig and give him some encouragement. So as we mentioned before, the Dogs started hot this season. Bats were rolling, and the offense has really been good for the Dogs. Pitching has been here and there. They're trying to put it all together in July. As we mentioned, the playoffs pretty much over by the first week of August. So it's a quick turnaround as the players get here at the end of May and play all of June and July. And then the season is over. They head back to school. So 2-0 count here to Danny Sierowek. Left-handed batter for the Stallions. He's ready to go, as is Matt Keurig. Runners on the corners. 1-0 lead for the Stallions. There's a called strike down the middle, and they count now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. So both teams did not take BP today or infield due to the heat. Trying to make sure they save off some energy for the players to play in this game because it's a long game out there in the sun. That one misses, and the count now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. We are here in the booth, and we are feeling the heat ourselves, and we are just sitting around talking or pressing buttons. Three 3-1 count, and here's the windup and the pitch from Keurig. And that one is hit to left field into foul territory. And the count now full at 3-2. So Matt Keurig has gotten this count to a full count here and hoping to win the battle against Keurig here for the first out of the top of the first inning. 1-0 lead for the Stallions as Keurig sets now. And will deliver back to first base quickly. As looking to keep that runner close to the pad at first base. So on deck for the Stallions is Ryan Resio. But first, here's Danny Sierowek with a 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. And that one is hit hard to center field, is at the wall, and it is gone. A 3-run home run for Danny Surwick. And the lead has been extended here quickly by the Stallions 4-0. So not the way Keurig was hoping to start this ball game or the DiamondDawgs start this game. Already down 4-0 with nobody out, and Ryan Resio coming to the plate here for the Stallions. So Resio now a right-handed batter to face Keurig. So righty versus righty here. Bases are clear after the 3-run shot by Surowick. And here comes the windup and the pitch. And that is inside. And looking to see if they hit him. And they're checking. And here comes the first base umpire. He may have seen it from the first base side that it hit him. Let's see what the call is here. As he looks like the home plate umpire didn't see it hitting him. But the umpire at first did. Let's see what the call is here. They're having a little discussion down the line. And they both come to the plate. And they're going to put him at first base. They're going to say he was hit by a pitch. So that was a little interesting. You would think the home plate umpire would have the better look. But overruled by the umpire at first base. And so he will take his base will Resio. So Resio at first base, Mike Coelho, the extra hitter, number 9, another right-handed batter for the Stallions, is going to step into the box here. So here is Coelho. Nobody out, runner on first base being held on at first by Scanlon. Here's the windup and the pitch. Down the middle, called strike. And they count 0-1 to Coelho. So no balls and 1 strike to Mike Coelho, the extra hitter for the Stallions. Keurig looking for his first out of the inning. That one's popped in the air, and everybody kind of going for it, but is out of play down the first base line. And the count jumps to 0-2. So this is a big opportunity here for Keurig to pick up his first out. He needs it here, down 4-0 with a runner on first base and nobody out still here in the top of the first inning. So Coelho is settled in. Keurig will set now and kick that front leg and deliver the pitch. And he does so high, and the count now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Coelho. One-two pitch on his way from Keurig. Runner at first, taking a short lead. That one is down low. And the count now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to the extra hitter, Mike Coelho. Saugerties getting here about an hour before the game. Bus rolled up. They got off the bus, started stretching, and started the game. Another hit by a pitch, and he's going to walk. Will Coelho. Oh, actually, he struck out. I'm sorry. I thought he got hit. So here's Nick Croce. So Coelho did strike out there. I did not see him. I thought he got hit as he was backing up. So Croce is the third baseman, number 17. And he is at the plate with a runner on second base now. There's a strike from Keurig on the count 0-1. So Croce steps out, adjusts his gloves, and back in the box, they're ready to go. So if you're a fan of basketball, lots of activity been going on the last couple days. If you're a Celtics fan, you might not be happy. If you're a Phillies fan, you might be ecstatic. 0-1, and the pitch is delivered missing for ball 1. The count 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Also looks like LeBron's days in L.A. are over. He announced that he is going to part ways with the Lakers and head somewhere else. So we're waiting to see what that decision is. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that one's hit down the third base line. If LeBron calls me and tells me they're on air, I will announce it to everybody. He's got my number. 1-2. He's got Ezzo's number too, but I'm not sure if we call him first or me. Probably Ezzo, because Ezzo's more important. 1 and 2. If anyone's out there tuning in, let us know where you're listening from. Hopefully it's a cool place. Let us know if you're in an air-conditioned little room or house or hotel, wherever you are. Let us know. Maybe some of those cold vibes will come this way, as we are in a fully non-air-conditioned room here. 2 and 2 the count. Nick Croce, the batter. And I imagine at this rate, by the third inning, we'll be delirious and talking to ourselves up here. 2 and 2. It's very quiet here in the park tonight. You can hear your heartbeat. 2 and 2. Here's the pitch. And that one gets away. Crenshaw can't find it. And the runner's going to head to third base. So that one took a bounce on Crenshaw. He couldn't find it. At first, took his mask off. Was looking around for it. And it got away further enough that the second baseman, the runner at second was able to head over to third. So runner in scoring position here for the Stallions with a 4-0 lead. A 3-2 count with 1 out here with Nick Croce at the plate. Anthony DiPietro is on deck. 3-2 pitch, and we got a bunch of hockey fans here, so we'll talk about some hockey in a minute. Because if you're a Rangers fan, you're going to be upset too. And that one is fouled off, and the count remains 3-2. So if you're a Rangers fan, you already know the news. Big trade. A lot of people that I know that are Rangers fans weren't happy about that move. I'm not sure if it was a good move or not. Trocheck got traded, which I think is a bad move for the Rangers, but we'll see. Lots of activity going on in the sports world right now. 3-2 the pitch. Here it comes. And that one's fallen off. And the count remains 3-2. Yeah, lots to tune into, whether it's baseball in the middle of the season, and who knows if there'll be a lockout for the baseball teams later on in the year at the end of the season. This could be our last season of baseball for a while. NBA free agency, hockey free agency. Football's always going on. There's always something going on in football. And let's not forget the World Cup. There's called strike 3 to Croce, so he strikes out for out number 2, and Anthony DiPietro will come to the plate. So Anthony DiPietro, the catcher for the Stallions. Believe it or not, the football has been the quietest of all the leagues so far, and that's not normal because normally football is taking all the headlines. Here's the windup and the pitch. And inside to DiPietro. And the count 1-0. So 1 ball and 0 strikes to DiPietro. The shortstop, Aiden Schmidt, is on deck. 2 outs here for the Stallions. 4-0 lead, top of the first. Here's the pitch. And again, high and inside. And the count jumps to 2-0. Oh, 2 balls and no strikes. Pietro steps out momentarily, but steps back into the box, showing he is ready to go. And Keurig will set now and kick, wind, and deliver on the 2-0. And there it is outside on the count quickly. 3-0 now to DiPietro. So long innings like this, not good for the pitcher, especially on these hot days. Have to dip into the bullpen quite often and early as the heat index is up there. That ball is hit on the ground to the first baseman. He scoops it up, throws over to the pitcher, steps on the bag, ends the inning. Not before damage is done. 4-run score, and Saugerties leads 4-0.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality in-ground Pacific pool and radiant above-ground pools that are built for upstate New York weather. Garrity offers only the best with BioGuard chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or GarrityPools.com.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
And we are back for the bottom of the first inning. And Colin Richter will lead things off here for the Dogs. It'll be Colin Richter, Jake Hardy, and Byron Arias. On the mound is Angel Paulino, and there's a broken bat, foul ball down the third base side. And, excuse me, Richter's going to have to get a new bat. And he's got a new set of lumber. He's good to go. Richter was talking in the dugout before the game. He was mentioning how he's swimming in his jersey. It's a little bit big on him. But I think that's the best size we got right now for him. So here's Richter waiting the pitch from Paulino, and that's a ball. The count now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Richter. He steps out momentarily, steps back in the box to face Paulino. Paulino, a left-handed pitcher, facing the lefty here in Colin Richter. Richter is tonight's center fielder for the Dogs. And here's the windup and the pitch. And that is down and outside for ball 2 in the count 2-1. Dogs need to get rolling here with the bats as they're down 4-0 to start this game off already here at the bottom of the first. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that is hit to left field. Left fielder coming for it, and he will not make the grab, and he's going to get caught between first and second is Richter, and he is thrown out on his way back to second. So a single, and then called out 7-4 on the play for Richter. And here's Jake Hardy at the plate. Hardy, the right fielder. He's a right-handed batter here for the Dogs in the bottom of the first here. Here's the pitch by Paulino. It's high, and the count 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Bottom 1, Saugerties put up 4 in the top half of the first. Here's the windup and pitch from Paulino, and that one misses. And the count quickly 2-0 to Hardy. So 2 balls and no strikes, 1 out. Paulino looking in now, picks up his sign from his catcher, and he's going to kick and deliver. right down the middle. And that's good for a strike in the count, 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. 4th of July weekend coming up, folks, just a couple of days away. The 250th birthday of America. So happy birthday to the USA. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and kind of cool to see USA playing on Monday. So it's kind of a nice way to celebrate the 4th of July weekend and America's birthday, with the USA trying to secure a victory in the World Cup. Nice stop at third base, but unable to make the play as he beats it out, does Hardy. And so Byron Arias will come to the plate. So Byron Arias, the batter, he is the shortstop, number 17 for the Dogs. Right-handed batter is Arias. And he's going to step into the plate here with that runner on first base. And 1 out. Here's the windup and the pitch. Called strike in the count, 0-1. That one hit the outside corner of the plate. As Arias thought maybe, just maybe, it might be a little outside. 0-1. Here's Paulino now with the pitch. And that is high. And the count, 1-1. A lot of velocity coming from Paulino. As when he throws that ball, he takes a hop right after he lets go, due to the velocity coming forward. 1-1 the count. Here is the pitch to Arias. Runner on first base, taking a short lead, being held on by the first baseman. Here's the pitch by Paulino. And that one misses. And the count, 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Arias. Connor Scanlon on deck for the Dogs. Here's the windup and the pitch from Paulino. And that one hit back up the middle. And that is good for a base hit. And that's going to put runners on first and second here for the Dogs in the bottom of the first. So Arias with the single will bring up Connor Scanlon now. So Connor Scanlon, the first baseman for the Dogs, will step into the batter's box with just 1 out, runners on first and second. So Dogs trying to respond here in the bottom half of the first. They've done it all year. A couple times when they've gotten down, they've bounced right back. So here's Scanlon at the plate, looking to do just that with runners on first and second here. So off the rubber steps Paulino before he jumps back on and gets ready to face Scanlon. Scanlon's good to go, as is Paulino as he looks at the runner at second base. And now he kicks, winds, and delivers. And that one was fouled off, and the count 0-1 to Scanlon. Jake Dolan is on deck for the Dogs. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that's a shot to left field. And left fielder at the wall, and it is gone. A home run by Connor Scanlon. And just like that, a 3-run shot, and the Dogs right back in this game as Connor Scanlon goes yard here in the bottom of the first. So how about that for responding? With 1 swing of the bat, the Dogs are right back in this thing.
Boom!
So Jake Dolan now the batter for the Dogs. Dogs now just down 1 run after that blast from Scanlon, bringing home 3 runs. So we said it earlier in the broadcast, the Dogs always respond with the big bats, and they've done so here tonight, wasting no time in the bottom half of their inning, putting up 3 runs. Pitch to Dolan, misses for ball 1, and the count 1-0. Paulino shakes one off. Now he's happy with the call, and he's going to wind and deliver. And that's fouled off on the first base line, and the count even now at 1-1. So you never know up and down the lineup where you might get that power from the Dogs, as they have it with Scanlon, they have it with Crenshaw, they have it with Hardy, and other players who are not in the lineup here tonight. 1-2 the count. A good roster put together by team president Travis Heiser. Hoping they all come together and mesh here in July. Here's the pitch, and that one's back here to us in the booth, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's Paulino with the 1-2. Curveball called, strike 3, and Dolan goes down looking for out number 2.
DiamondDawgs, catcher number 34 from Richmond University, Joe Crenshaw.
So here's Joe Crenshaw, the catcher. Another power bat here for the Dogs. Crenshaw, a right-handed batter from Mohawk Valley. He's got 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. And a little chopper back to Paulino. He makes the grab, tosses it over to first. And that'll do it for the inning, but not before a blast by Connor Scallon brings this game to 1, 4-3. Stallions ahead.
At GPO, we understand every member's journey is unique. That's why our employees take the time to listen, understand, and deliver personalized solutions that fit your life. From budgeting to borrowing, we're with you every step of the way. Your journey, our commitment. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
And we are back, top of the second. New pitcher on the mound for the Dogs here to start the top of the second inning. That is number 8, Allie Wood from Lafayette College. Allie Wood now pitching for the Dogs. Aiden Schmidt is on the mound. Here's the pitch. And that is hit the third base. Third baseman scoops it, throws on over. And that is out number 1. So first out from Allie Hood to Aiden Schmidt, the grounder to the third baseman for the Dogs. Got third baseman Roberto Valdez. So Jack Bale now the batter. He's the center fielder here for the Stallions. Jack Bale, a right-handed batter, facing the righty here in Allie Hood. Hood winds now and delivers. Right down the middle, calls strike 1. And the count 0-1. So bottom of the order here for the Stallions. Then back to the top with Cooper Schmidt. Here's the windup in the pitch by Hood. And there's a call, strike 2. Quickly 0-2 now the count, as Hood jumps out ahead here on Bale. 0-2. Here's the windup now on the pitch from Hood again. As the foul tip, and the count remains no balls and 2 strikes to Bale. Bale steps out of the box momentarily, calling timeout. Now he's back and ready to go. Hood is ready, and he's going to take a long stare and now wind and deliver. And there's a swing and a miss by Bale for out number 2. And Cooper Schmidt will come to the plate with the top of the order here for the Stallions. So the Stallions, Cooper Schmidt doubled in his first at bat here tonight. He's a lefty here to face Hood, the righty. Thus far for Hood has been all good with 2 outs. There's the windup and the pitch. Outside corner called strike, count 0-1. So Hood moving along quickly here. Gets right on the top of the rubber and ready to go when that batter's ready. 0-1. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2 in the count now, 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Cooper Schmidt is the batter. Taps home plate, signifying he's ready. Hood taking that deep, long stare. And now he sets, winds, and delivers on the 0-2. Hit on the ground to short. Shortstop scoops it, throws on over. And a quick 1-2-3 inning here for the Stallions. And the Dogs down 4-3. Back after this.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber. They're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
At NBT Bank, we know that this day starts with this one. This day starts with this one. Because no matter how unforgettable the extraordinary days are, there's a lot of every day that leads up to them. You can count on NBT Bank to help you get started. NBT Bank, it starts here.
And we are back here for the bottom of the second inning, sorry. And Paulino is the pitcher. He delivers the pitch, and that one misses for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes here to Nolan Colby. So Nolan Colby, Kyle Coleman, and Roberto Valdez. It is 4-3 here. Saugerties leads in the bottom of the second, and that one misses for ball 2 in the count, 2-0 to Nolan Colby. We talk about the dog days of summer. I think they're here early this year, starting here in the beginning of July. Normally it's later on in the year, but it is hot. 2-1. 2-1 count here to Colby. As Colby steps back in, ready to go. And Paulino's looking in, picking up his sign from his catcher. Looks like he's happy with his sign, and he delivers. All hit down the first base line, foul. And that evens the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2. Fans, I know it's hot out there, but if you're looking for some baseball, nothing to do, why sit around the house and sweat? Come out here and sweat. 2-2. And there's a swing and a miss, and down goes Colby for out number 1.
Now batting for your Dogs, designated hitter number 25 from Belmont University, Kyle Coleman.
So Kyle Coleman is now the batter. after the strikeout from Nolan Colby. Coleman is a right-handed batter for the Dogs. And Paulino is already looking in, ready to go. And here's Paulino with the windup and the pitch. And hard-throwing Paulino throws ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. You see Paulino giving it his all. Looks like he explodes off the mound when he delivers the pitch. 1-0 to Coleman. And that one misses for ball 2 in the count, 2-0. And it'd be nice to have a speed gun up here. We used to have one before, but we don't have one this season. It'd be nice to see how hard some of these guys are throwing, because you can see the velocity in some of these guys and the difference in pitches. 2-0 count. Here's the pitch, and that is high. And the count now 3-0 to Coleman. Following Coleman, Roberto Valdez is on deck for the Dogs. Getting that flag, if you see it out there blowing from right to left, sometimes it's blowing out. But don't be fooled. It is not windy and cool here. 3-0 the count. And here's the windup and the pitch called strike 1. And the count 3-1 now to Coleman. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Here it is, 3-1 pitch. That's popped up in the air by Coleman to right field at the wall, and that one is gone. Is that a home run? It is a home run. That one bounced off the top of the wall. We had to wait to see if it was gone. And Kyle Coleman hits a home run. And we have a tie ball game here at Mohawk Valley. So Kyle Coleman with the home run for the Dogs. All the runs have come off home runs for Mohawk Valley. 1 from Connor Scalen, a 3-run shot. And now 1 from Kyle Coleman. And the score now 4-4. So here's Roberto Valdez Jr. Bottom of the order here for the Dogs. And here comes the pitch to Valdez. And that's a foul ball. And the count 0-1 to Valdez. No balls and 1 strike. So 2 innings thus far. Lots of action here on the Dog side. Valdez the batter with an 0-1 count. Angel Paulino the pitcher. Curveball curves in for a strike. Nice pitch there from Paulino. A lot of movement, 0-2. So Valdez facing an 0-2 count with 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the order, then we go back to the top. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that one is hit past the diving shortstop for a base hit for Roberto Valdez Jr. So the hits keep on coming here for the Dogs. We go back to the top of the order with Colin Richter. Richter, the center fielder, in his first appearance here tonight at Mohawk Valley. He singled last time and then was caught in a rundown. So Colin Richter will come to the plate here for Mohawk Valley. Richter, left-handed batter, facing the lefty here in Paulino. Just 1 out here for the Dogs. Runner on first, 4-4 ball game. Here's the pitch. And that one misses down low for ball 1 to Richter. So 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Runner on first for the Dogs. Bottom of the second. And that is fouled off by Richter. And the count now 1-1. One ball and a strike. Colin Richter settles in and ready to go. Paulino stares down the runner at first before he delivers the pitch. And that one missing low again. And the count now 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike here to Colin Richter. Paulino winds and delivers, and that's popped up into a left field. And being called off by the center fielder is the left fielder. He makes the grab for out number 2. And so Colin Richter pops out his second at bat here this evening. So it'll be Jake Hardy now for the Dogs with 2 outs. A runner on first. So Hardy singled in his first at bat here tonight. And he will face Paulino here for the second time. Hardy, a right-handed batter for the Dogs. Here's the pitch. That one takes a bounce away from the catcher, and the runner's going to advance to second now. And so Valdez now at second base in scoring position here for the Dogs with 2 outs. Jake Hardy is the batter for the Dogs. We're in the bottom of the second here from Vets Park in Little Falls. You are listening to Perfect Game Collegiate League Baseball between the Saugerties Stallions and the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. 1-0 pitch now on its way from Paulino. And that misses high. And the count 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Fans, if you're making plans, make sure you check out Cooperstown as the induction ceremony coming up mid-July. And that one is falling off. I always say check the schedule, see if the Dogs are playing, make a weekend of it. You can come on down, go to Cooperstown during the day, and come on out and watch a ball game here at Vets Park. Great way to spend a weekend. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Hardy. Runners on first and second, runner on second, taking a short lead. And that one misses for ball 3 in the count now, 3-1. So Valdez at second base for the Dogs. 3-1 count here with 2 outs. Paulino sets and delivers on the 3-1. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 2 in the count now full to Hardy. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3-2 pitch coming from Paulino here to Hardy. Here's the windup and the pitch. And there is ball 4. And Jake Hardy will take a walk to put runners on first and second for the Dogs.
Shortstop number 17 from Dominican University, Byron Arias.
So Byron Arias, now the batter. He singled in his first at bat. And with that, the coaching staff and catcher will head out to the mound to talk to the pitcher. A little activity down in the bullpen area. Looks like Paulino's going to remain in for now. Needs 1 more out to get out of this inning. But he's got runners on first and second, does Paulino. And the game tied at 4. Home plate umpire heading out to break up the conversation at the mound. It's about halfway there, and they walk away. So here's Byron Arias at the plate. Arias, a right-hander here for the Dogs. He's going to face the lefty here in Paulino. Paulino looks in. Again, this time runners on first and second, not being held on with 2 outs. Paulino's going to wind and deliver to Hardy. And that one gets away from the catcher, but he keeps it in front of him. Arias at the plate. As Hardy is at first base after the walk. 1-0 the count here. Arias the shortstop for the Dogs. 1-0 pitch on its way. And it misses outside for ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes. Again, runners on first and second for Mohawk Valley. As they have scored a run in this inning. That was by way of a home run from Kyle Coleman. 2-0 now. To Arias. Here's the pitch. Called strike 1. And the count now 2-1.
Yes.
2 balls and 1 strike to Arias here. With 2 outs. Here's the windup and the pitch from Paulino. And called strike 2 and the count now full, or even at 2-2, I'm sorry. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Byron Arias. Paulino takes his glove off momentarily, trying to wipe off that sweat on his hands. And the count full 2-2 with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Here's Paulino with the pitch to Arias as he takes a couple glances at the runner at second and delivers the pitch, and it's a foul ball behind us here to home plate. And the count remains 2-2. Well, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Arias. Paulino's ready, and he delivers on the 2-2. Called, strike 3, and that will do it for the inning. Arias goes down looking and ends the inning. Score remains 4-4 after 2.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors, but you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gem shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime.
Stallions, regular number 2 from Mississippi State, Michael Hanna.
Welcome back, fans. Ellie Hood's still on the mound for the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. I am Christopher Ezzo, filling in for Pete for a couple minutes. First pitch is a strike. 0-1 count. Next ball hit to the shortstop. Ground out. 1 out. That is a 6-3 in your scorebooks.
Now batting for the Stallions, second baseman number 11 from Siena University, Steven Ramirez.
Steven Ramirez is now up to bat for the Stallions. Pitch from Hood is a strike. Ellie Hood with the next pitch is a ball outside. 1-1 to count. Aces are wild. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Swing and a miss, strike 2 to Ramirez. Foul ball. Stays at 1-2 to count. Ellie Hood in the setup. The pitch is outside. Ball 2. 2-2 the count. High fly ball to the center field. Dropped it. Stand up double. For Ramirez. 1 out. Runner at second.
Now batting for the Stallions, left fielder number 45 from Boston College, Danny Sorowiak.
Sorowiak is up to bat. Ellie Hood in set. The pitch. Ball. Ellie Hood is from Lafayette College down in Pennsylvania. Ball number 2. Your count. 1 out. Ball 3. 3-0. More than likely, you're gonna look at the pitch on ball 3, 3-0. The pitch, ball 4. 4 straight pitches, 4 straight balls for Ellie Hood. Runners are at first and second.
First baseman number 12 from Richmond University, Ryan Rescio.
Rescio's up to bat from Richmond. We are in a 4-4 ball game. Top of the 3rd. Foul ball. Strike 1. 0-1. Ball 1. 1-1 to count. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1-2 the count with 1 out. Runners are at first and second. The pitch from Hood. Little low, ball 2. 2-2 the count with 1 out. Ball number 3. 3-2 the count, full count with 1 out. Let's see here who wins the battle. Will be Hood. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 2 outs. Good pitch by Hood right there.
Now batting
Mike Quayle's up for the Stallions. Runners are still at first and second, now with 2 outs. Foul ball. Strike 1. That ball went down the first baseline. Foul ball. And we got a ball. 1-1 to count. This is Hood's second inning of work. Taking over for Keurig, who started the game. Little break in the action. Catcher to the pitcher. Talking over their plays. Ball 2. 2-1 to count. Pitch was just inside. Ball 3. 3-1 to count. Two outs. Fair ball. Down to third baseline. Gets down to left field. One run on score. The second run is coming. The throw. Run scores. 2-run score on that.
Now batting for the Stallions, third baseman number 17.
2-run score, 6-4 Stallions. 5 hits. That'll be their 5th hit of the night. Down the third baseline. Strike 1. There's a strike looking. Down the past the third baseman. Score a run. Makes it 7-4 Stallions.
For the Stallions, catcher number 25 from Pace University, Anthony DePetro.
DePetro's now up for the Stallions. They're leading 7-4 with 2 outs. All the runs have come with 2 outs. Runners at first. Strike. Stone base. Pass ball. So, runner started at first. He stole second. Advanced to third on the pass ball by the catcher. 1-1 account with 2 outs. 7-4 Stallions. Call strike. 1-2 the count with 2 outs. Ball 2. We got 2s on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Ball 3. Full count for Hood. Foul ball out back. Just back of us. 3-2 count. Do it all over again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Strike 3, call strike 3. That'll get the Diamond Dogs out of this inning. Striking out 7-4 Stallions. Diamond Dogs coming to bat.
Some people might think that the tire shop in Canajoharie only does tires. Nah, that's only their name. The tire shop does so much more. Oil changes, custom wheels, interstate batteries, computer wheel balancing, tire repair service and recapping, auto accessories, tire chains, ag bags, bale and net wrap, and much more. And when it comes to tires, the tire shop in Canajoharie also does so much more. Lawn and garden tires, off the road, backhoe, loader tires, log skidder, agricultural, ATV and UTV tires, and on the farm tire services. The Tire Shop is a multi-line new tire dealer. That means they're quite a choice for top brand name tires for your car, truck, SUV, semi-tractor, and trailer, all at great prices. They're also a Goodyear national accounts and state contract pricing location. Financing available too. Find more information and a list of services at thetireshop.biz. Thetireshop.biz. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. Yes, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Tire Shop, 155 Erie Boulevard in Canajoharie.
Now pitching for the Stallions from the University of Louisville, number 16, Nicholas Ballard. That's Ballard, number 16, now pitching for Saugerties.
Nick Ballard is now pitching for the Stallions.
First baseman number 9 from Fairfield University, Connor Scanlon.
Now for your Dogs from Fairfield University, number 9, Connor Scanlon. Ball outside, 1-0. Fly ball for Scanlon to the center field. Out, caught by the center fielder.
Now batting for your Dogs, left fielder number 35 from Seton Hall, Jake Dolan.
Now batting for the Dogs, number 35 from Seton Hall, the Pirates, Jake Dolan. Dolan's up to bat.
And we are back, and thank you for Ezra for taking over the airwaves. And Scalen is at bat here for the Dogs. 7-4. Nolan, I'm sorry. And the count is 1-1. And that one's hit hard past the shortstop for a base hit here.
And now batting for your Dogs, catcher number 34 from Richmond University, Joe Crenshaw.
So here's Joe Crenshaw for the Dogs with 1 out and a runner on the first base. 7-4 is the score. Stallions scored 3 runs there in the top of the third. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that is popped up foul. Josh, who's the pitcher? So Nicholas Ballard is the new pitcher here in this ball game for the Stallions. Lefty, here's the pitch. And there's a ball. The count 1-1. Looked like he's going to call a strike, and last minute called it a ball. So the count 1-1 here to Crenshaw. And the pitch is down low for ball 2, and the count now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to the catcher, Joe Crenshaw, who grounded out in his last at bat. He's got a runner on first base here for the Dogs in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch, and that's fouled off down the first base line here, and the count 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lights are on here at the park. It's starting to get a little dark out there, a little hazy. 2-2. That's outside for ball 3, and the count off full 3-2 to Joe Crenshaw. Nolan Colby is on deck here for the Dogs. And here's the 3-2 pitch. And hit to the second baseman who scoops. It goes over to the shortstop, back to first, and safe at first. They tried to get the double play, was not able to get it. Crenshaw is safe at first on the fielder's choice.
Second baseman number 44 from Fairfield University, Nolan Colby.
So here's Nolan Colby, who struck out in his first at bat. He is tonight's second baseman here for the Dogs. Left-handed batter is Colby, ready to face Nicholas Ballard. Ballard is set now with 2 outs, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Colby. Count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Bottom third here at Vets Park. It is 7-4. Stallions ahead. And there's a called strike 2, and quickly the count 0-2 now to Nolan Colby. So no balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. And that is fouled off. And the count is 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the windup and the pitch by Ballard, and that's hit to second baseman for the out, and that ends the inning and score 7-4. Stallions ahead.
If you are looking for some shopping and dining, head on over to Canal Place, where you will find quaint shops, galleries, restaurants, and inns situated in the old mill buildings and storefronts along the waterfront of Canal Place. They've become known as the happening place for the arts in the Mohawk Valley. Not so long ago, many of these buildings were working mills serving the garment industry. Even today, after conversion to serve as retail space, many of these rugged but lovely structures speak to our great regional manufacturing heritage. If you're looking for fine arts, entertainment, or antiques, you simply must pay a visit to Canal Place.
And we are back, top of the fourth. And Aiden Schmidt is going to lead things off here for the Stallions here in the top of the fourth with a 7-4 lead. And new pitcher on the mound for Mohawk Valley, Jack Henning. A right-handed pitcher is Henning. First pitch from Henning misses for ball one, the count 1-0. So Aiden Schmidt, Jack Beal, and then Cooper Schmidt all due up here in this inning. Here's the 1-0. And that is popped up foul, and the count 1-1. So a ball and a strike here to Aiden Schmidt, who grounded out. And at bat number one, Schmidt, a right-handed batter for the Stallions, facing the righty in Henning. 1-1 count. Henning looks in, and he will wind and deliver. And it is popped up into the right field area, and it's picked up by the second baseman for out number one.
Now batting for the Stallions, center fielder number 47 from Embry-Riddle, Jack Bale.
So Jack Bale, now the batter here for the Stallions. Bale, another right-handed bat here for Saugerties, ready to face Jack Henning. Henning now winds and delivers and puts it down the middle but low for ball one. So ball on a strike. I'm sorry, ball and no strikes to Bale here. Bale at the bottom of the order for the Stallions. 1-0 pitch, here it is. And that one misses for ball two, and the count now 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes to the center fielder, Jack Bale. On deck for the Stallions, number 10, Cooper Schmidt, the DH. 2-0 the count. Here's the windup and the pitch. Hit on the ground to first base. Scanlon scoops it up and will step on the bag for out number two.
Now batting for the Stallions, designated hitter number 10 from Embry-Riddle, Cooper Schmidt.
So Cooper Schmidt, now the batter, he's doubled and grounded out here tonight. He bats from the left side, does Schmidt. He's the DH. And he is ready to face Henning with 2 outs here. In the top of the fourth, 7-4 is the score. Stallions ahead. I said that a couple times tonight. Here's the windup and the pitch. Down low for ball one. So 1 ball, no strikes to Schmidt here. Michael Hanna on deck for Saugerties. 1-0 pitch. That one misses for ball two. That was inside, and the count now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes here to Schmidt. Henning is ready, and he winds now and delivers on the 2-0 pitch. And there's a called strike one, and the count 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. A very quiet evening here in Little Falls. A few fans have come out to catch this ball game in this sweltering heat. 2-1 the pitch. And there's called strike 2, and the count now even at 2-2. That one hit the outside corner. And the count now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Cooper Schmidt. And the 2-2 pitch is high for ball 3, and the count 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Cooper Schmidt. Full count. Here's the windup now on the pitch. And that one misses for ball 4, and he will walk Will Schmidt.
Now batting for the Stallions, right fielder number 2 from Mississippi State, Michael Hanna.
So Michael Hanna now the batter for the Stallions. He has walked and grounded out tonight. Hanna bats from the left side to face the righty here in Henning. Here's the windup and the pitch, and down low runner takes off. Here's the throw, and safe at second base. And the count to Hanna, I believe, is 1-0. 1-0 count here to Hannah. One 0 pitch on its way as Henning looks at the runner at second base a few times and now delivers the pitch. And that is fouled off in the count now, even at 1. So a ball and a strike to Michael Hanna. Steven Ramirez is on deck for Saugerties. One and one, here's the pitch. And called strike 2 outside corner. That was just catching the bottom portion of the plate and the count 1 and 2. So with 2 outs, runner on second here for the Stallions. 1-2 pitch on its way from Henning. And outside for ball 2, and the count even at 2 and 2 now. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hannah. And that steps back into the box, taps the plate. Runner on second, not being held on, taking a generous lead. 2 and 2. And here comes the windup and the pitch from Jack Henning. Takes a couple looks at the runner at second before he delivers the pitch, and that was hit right into the glove of Connor Scanlon. And that will do it for the inning. Score remains 7-4. And bottom of the 4th coming up.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
And we are back, and Kyle Coleman will lead things off here for the Dogs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Kyle Coleman, Roberto Valdez Jr., and then Colin Richter all due up here for the Dogs on the bottom of the 4th. But first, here's Kyle Coleman, who hit a home run. And his last at-bat puts on a bunt on the third base line, and that'll be good for a base hit for Kyle Coleman to start things off here in the inning. So Roberto Valdez Jr. now the batter for the Dogs.
From St. John's University, Roberto Valdez Jr.
So Roberto Valdez Jr. singled in his last at bat. He's going to step into the batter's box here to face Nicholas Ballard for the first time. Ballard sets now, and he's going to wind and deliver to Valdez. And missing for ball 1. And the count 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes to Valdez. Valdez a righty here against the lefty in Ballard. Ballard sets now, looks at that runner at first, delivers, and another bunt this time down the first base line, and foul. And the count even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike here to Valdez, bottom of the order for the Dogs, and then we go back to the top with Colin Richter. But first, Valdez is at the plate with a 1-1 count. And he will step out of the box, and he's going to head down the third base line to talk to his coach. That's Coach Luby down there. And Coach Luby has a few words for Valdez. A long chat there by Luby, and looks like Valdez got his orders. And let's see what is up their sleeves here with a 1-1 count. So a ball on a strike. Runner on first for the Dogs. Bottom 4, nobody out. And there's the call, strike. And they count 1 and 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Valdez. 7-4 the score. Stallions ahead. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Valdez strikes out for out number 1.
Everybody bring your dogs, center fielder number 28 from Monmouth University, Colin Richter.
So Colin Richter, who popped out in his last at bat, now the batter here for the Dogs in the bottom of the 4th. Richter at the plate with a 1 out. Runner takes off. Here's the throw. And late call. No call yet. And it looks like he is safe. And safe at second base is Coleman. So Richter steps back into the box here with a 1-0 count. Runner on second now. And that's fouled off by Richter in the count 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Richter steps out of the box. He's tightening his batting gloves before he steps back in, and umpire calling for some baseballs. We'll get him next time around with a 1-1 count here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And that's hit to left field. And this one is going to drop. And that'll put runners on first and third here for the Dogs.
Everybody bring your dogs, right fielder number 4 from Fairfield University, Jake Hardy.
So Jake Hardy now the batter for Mohawk Valley. He has singled and walked already here tonight. Hardy, a right-handed batter for Mohawk Valley, playing right field tonight. And he's going to face Nicholas Ballard here in the bottom of the 4th with 1 out and runners on the corners. Here's the pitch to Hardy. Missing outside, ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes, 4-7. Dogs are down here in the bottom of the 4th from Vets Park in Little Falls. And there's a strike, and the count even now at 1-1. So 1 ball and a strike to Jake Hardy. Byron Arias is on deck for the Dogs. 1-1 pitch as Ballard looks over his shoulder at the runner at third. Now looks at the runner at first, delivers the pitch outside. And they count 2-1. So Hardy ahead here in the count 2-1. Here's the pitch by Ballard. And there's a called strike 2, and the count now even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes with just 1 out. Runners on the corners. Dogs knocking on the door here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-2 pitch now from Ballard on its way. And he checks his swing, did not go. And the count now full at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jake Hardy. And that one hit up the middle. And that is a base hit for Hardy. That's going to score a run. It's going to get past the center fielder. And that's going to allow Hardy to go to second. And another run to score. So 2 runs score. As Jake Hardy with the single is an error on the play. And 2 runs score. And the score now 7-6. Saugerties. E8 on that play.
Now batting for the Dogs, shortstop number 17 from Dominican University, Byron Arias.
So Byron Arias now the batter for the Dogs as they've brought this lead down to 1 here for the Stallions. Arias has struck out looking and singled already tonight. Runner on second base. Here's the pitch. And that's a shot to left field, and that is going to drop in front of the left fielder. And here comes a runner around third, and he will score easily. And this game is tied after the single by Byron Arias. So ball game tied 7-7 here after this single from Arias. And Connor Scanlon is now due up next, but before that, a trip out to the mound for the catcher for the Stallions to talk to his pitcher, Nicholas Ballard. That is Anthony DiPietro having a few words with his pitcher. And the short chat is over, and he's going to head back behind the plate with Connor Scanlon stepping into the box here for Mohawk Valley with 1 out. Dogs have already put up 3 runs here and tied this game at 7 here in the bottom of the 4th. So here's Scanlon, who hit a 3-run home run earlier in the game, his first at bat. And there was a strike to Scanlon in the count, 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to the first baseman, Scanlon. Ballard sets, winds, delivers, swing and a miss. And the count quickly 0-2 now to Scanlon. Scanlon steps out of the box. Now he's back in and ready to go. Facing Ballard with an 0-2 count. Here's the 0-2 now from Ballard. And that is popped foul. And it looks like it's going to be out of play. So a reset with an 0-2 count here to Scanlon as ball's thrown back to the pitcher, and everyone's going to get back in their spots here. Runner on first here for the Dogs. And Scanlon at the plate facing an 0-2 count with 1 out. Here's the pitch. And broken bat hit hard to the shortstop. 6-4, 3 double play. And that will do it for the inning. So Scanlon grounds out, ends the inning. Dogs score 3, and it's 7-7.
Visit the Daily Post and stay connected with the latest news, information, and events in the Mohawk Valley. Our mission is to generate interest in the area and connect residents in a more meaningful way by facilitating deeper conversations about how these stories will shape the future of the Mohawk Valley. Join thousands of weekly visitors who stay up to date with feature stories, interviews, videos, our event calendar, and print publication, the Mohawk Valley Express. It's about timely local news for the community, keeping citizens informed about important issues, telling about the people who live and work here, and giving locally owned businesses the opportunity to reach a very targeted audience of locals and tourists alike. It's a whole new form of media-rich content developed specifically for today's mobile lifestyle and listeners. You can download our iOS app in the iTunes Store, listen to our podcast, or sign up for our weekly email newsletter. Stop by today at thedailypost.digital. You'll be glad you did.
Leading off the fifth was
And we are back. Top of the fifth here in Mohawk Valley. New pitcher on the mound for the Dogs is Dylan Ancelli. So Dylan Ancelli now pitching the fourth pitcher of the ball game here for Mohawk Valley. And here's Ancelli with the first pitch. And there's a strike to Ramirez in the count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Here's Ancelli now with pitch number 2. And that one misses. And the count 1-1. So Ancelli, a right-handed pitcher for the Dogs, a lefty at the plate in Ramirez. Here's the pitch, and that one hit to Scanlon at first. He scoops it. He's going to take it himself, and that is good for out number 1. So Steven Ramirez grounds out to the first baseman for out number 1 here in the top of the fifth with a tie ball game, 7-7. The Dogs responding with 3 runs in the bottom half of the fourth inning to tie this thing up. And Danny Suriak now the batter for the Stallions. Suriak, a 3-run home run in his first at bat here tonight, and he also walked. And that one missing for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes to Suriak. Suriak, the left fielder for Saugerties. Here's Ancelli with a pitch, and that one misses inside in the count 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Ancelli looks in, winds and delivers on the 2-0. And that one is hit into right field, and it is foul. So 2-1 the count. They're waiting for the umpire to make the calls. We heard shouts of fair coming from the dugout for the Stallions. Of course, they want that to be fair, so they try to call it and get that ball to move over. 2-1. It's Suriak and then Resio on deck. 2-1 count with 1 out, nobody on here. Top of the fifth. Tie ball game at 7. Here's Ancelli with a pitch outside and high for ball 3. 3-1 to the left-handed hitting Danny Suriak. 3-1 pitch. Here it comes. And that's a shot into right field. This time it's fair. And he's going to turn the corner and stop right there. He was thinking about going to second and then hit the brakes. That ball came in quickly. So a single for Suriak will bring up Ryan Resio.
First baseman number 12 from the University of Richmond, Ryan Resio.
So here's Ryan Resio. Resio was hit by a pitch earlier, also struck out here tonight. And he will come to the plate with 1 out. A runner on first and facing Dylan Ancelli. Ancelli is set and kicks, winds, and delivers, and does so inside in the count 1-0. So a ball and no strikes to Resio. And back to first goes Ancelli. Runner slides back quickly. It's Suriak. And the count remains 1-0. A little rosin bag for Ancelli to keep those hands dry in this blistering hot day. 1-0 pitch on its way. Runner takes off, and the ball falls out of the hand of the catcher for the Dogs, and he's unable to make the throw is Crenshaw. And the runner now safe at second. So runner in scoring position here for the Stallions in the top of the fifth with 1 out. Resio at the plate. Suriak at second base. 1 out. Tie game 7-7, top 5. And Ancelli, the pitcher, on the mound for the Dogs. Here's the pitch. And that is popped foul. And the count 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Resio. Ancelli climbs back on the top of the rubber, signifying he's ready to go. And here's a 2-1 pitch as he looks at that runner at second base. Runner's dancing around, takes a huge lead, comes back because the second baseman came in. Here's the pitch. And that is fouled off on the first base line. And that will even things up at 2-2. So Suriak taking a big lead and then came back when the second baseman for the Dogs started coming back into the bag. 2-2 now to Horacio. Coelho on deck. 2-2 pitch. Ancelli sets, looks at the runner at second, and delivers. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So 2 outs now for the Stallions. And Mike Coelho now the batter. So Coelho, a triple last time up, also struck out here tonight. He's the extra hitter for Saugerties. He comes to the plate with 2 outs and a runner on second base. And Chelly delivers. And there's called strike 1. So no balls and a strike to Coelho. Coelho was ready. And so was Ancelli. He's going to kick, wind, and deliver here after looking down the runner at second. Takes a few glances at the runner, now delivers the pitch high. And they count 1-1. So a ball and a strike here to Coelho. Again, Ancelli goes to the rosin bag. And steps on the rubber with a 1-1 count. Here's Ancelli now with the 1-1 pitch. And that one misses. And they count 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Runner on second base was taking a big lead on that last pitch. Let's see what he does here and what Ancelli decides to do. 2-1. Coelho at the plate. Runner not being held on at the moment. And here's the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 2 in the count now. 2-2 to Coelho. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 more strike needed to get out of this inning here for Ancelli. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Mike Coelho. Runner on second base, 2 outs. Top 5. Here's Ancelli with the pitch. And that is popped foul. And we will reset and do it all over again with a 2-2 count. So should Coelho reach, Nick Croce is on deck for the Stallions. Again, Ancelli going to the rosin bag before he goes to the pitch. 2-2 now. He will set now and kick, wind, and deliver on the 2-2. Runner takes off. Ball is popped up into center field. Center fielder backing up and makes the catch to end the inning. So that was a deep ball, hit the center field. Stays in the park, and the game tied 7-7. We head to the bottom of the 5th.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality in-ground Pacific pool and radiant above-ground pools that are built for upstate New York weather. Garrity offers only the best with BioGuard chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or GarrityPools.com.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
Left fielder number 35 from Seton Hall, Jake Dolan.
And we are back. Jake Dolan will lead things off here for the Dogs on the bottom of the fifth. He'll do so with a new pitcher on the mound, the third pitcher of the night for the Stallions. That is Riley Hoffaker. Riley Hoffaker now pitching for the Stallions. Hoffaker, a right-handed pitcher, and he's going to face the righty here. And Dolan. First pitch is a strike, and the count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike here to Dolan, the left fielder. Hoffaker ready, winds and delivers. High for ball 1, and the count 1-1. So a ball and a strike. Both teams going through a bevy of pitchers tonight due to the heat, trying to keep everybody hydrated and cool. It's a tough game here for these pitchers and players. Here's a swing and a miss, and they count 1-2 now to Dolan. We are trying to stay hydrated ourselves up here. Lots of Gatorade, lots of water, and lots of perspiration. It's a hot one, folks. Here's the 1-2. Outside. Ball 2 in the count, 2-2. So tonight's agenda, after we leave this game, we are all going to go in a cold shower somewhere. And we may stay there for the entire evening. 2-2. And that one misses for ball 3, as many of us who have wives, girlfriends, or whoever at home are not going to recognize us when we get home. I told my buddy in the booth here that we came in fat, we're going to go home skinny. And there's a walk.
Now batting for your Dogs, catcher number 34 from the University of Richmond, Joe Crenshaw.
So here's Joe Crenshaw, and I think J-Max said it perfectly. The wives or the girlfriends are going to stay away from me. That is correct. Here's the pitch now to Crenshaw. There's a strike. And the count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike here to Crenshaw. Runner on first base. Bottom 5. Score is 7-7. 11 hits for the Dogs, 7 for Saugerties. There's a strike, and quickly the count 0-2 now to Crenshaw with nobody out. Runner on first base is Dolan. Reached by a walk. Hoffaker, the pitcher on the mound. He's ready to deliver on the 0-2 here to Crenshaw. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that has popped up into foul territory by Crenshaw, and the count 0-2 remains. So 0-2, Nolan Colby on deck after Crenshaw. Crenshaw, the catcher here for the Dogs. 0-2. Hoffaker looks over at the runner on first being held on. And he's going to wind and deliver on the 0-2. Runner takes off. Pitch was high, no throw, and he is safe at second base is Dolan. So 1-2 now, the count to Crenshaw. And the catcher is going to deliver the ball personally to his pitcher to give him a little words of encouragement. That's Anthony DiPietro. Good Italian name. I like that. 1-2. When I hear the name DiPietro, I think of the goalie that played for, I'm going to guess, the Islanders, I think it was. Well, I remember him with the Islanders, so I'm going with that one. Rick DiPietro, yes, that's who it was. He also became the GM at one point, right? 1-2. And that is high. And the count 2-2. That's the only way we're going to stay cool up here, folks, if we talk about hockey and things on ice. Be kind of cool if baseball was played on ice. Ever thought about that? Maybe we should do that in the wintertime as one of the like banana ball things. You know, maybe start our own winter baseball. 2-2. That one's falling off. And Aslo did say that they play in the winter in the Caribbean where it's warm. Well, think about it. Baseball on ice. Come on, Az. Give it a try. 2-2. And the count now 3-2. And I'm gonna be the first to tell you I don't like the gimmicks that they do with banana ball and the Harlem Globetrotters. It's entertainment, folks. If you love it, that's great. That's why you go. But to me, It's not baseball. It's not basketball. It's entertainment. 3-2. Here's the pitch. And that's my 2 cents on that. And there is ball 4. And there is a walk.
Now, your Dogs, second baseman number 44 from Fairfield University, Nolan Colby.
So Crenshaw walks. Nolan Colby will come to the plate here for the Dogs. He has grounded out and struck out as Colby here tonight. Colby, your second baseman for the Dogs. He's got runners on first and second here in the bottom of the 5th. And he shows bunt, pulls it back for a strike, and the count 0-1. So Colby was showing bunt the whole way, pulled it back last minute, and got called for the strike. No balls and 1 strike here to Colby. Here's the pitch. Again, shows bunt, pulls it back, and they're going to check, and they're going to say he went. Strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes here to Colby. So quickly ahead in the count here is Riley Hoffaker with nobody out and runners on first and second here for the Dogs. 7-7 game, bottom 5. Here's the pitch from Hoffaker. And that one is hit up the middle, takes a bounce, and the shortstop grabs it, throws across, and he makes the out as he steps on second base and gets the double play. Nice play there by the shortstop. That was Aiden Schmidt. So nice play there by Aiden Schmidt to pick up the double play. And Kyle Coleman, who hit a solo home run in his first at bat here tonight, now at the plate with 2 outs. And nobody on. Hoffaker's ready. Coleman's ready. And here's the pitch. And that is inside for ball 1 to Coleman. As I mentioned before, every time I see Coleman, he just reminds me of Vince Coleman from the days of when I watched baseball as a kid. Kind of has the same structure a little bit. Vince Coleman was a little bigger, but he has the same speed. And there's a strike to Coleman. And the count now 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. And as I was mentioning, Derek Coleman, another famous Coleman. He does not look like Derek Coleman, because Derek Coleman is a mammoth of a person. Big, tall, strong. Not the saying that Kyle Coleman's not big, tall, and strong, but he's not tall. He might be strong. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. And there is ball 3. And really, when you talk about tall, it really depends, right? I'm short, but in my family, I'm tall. So it depends who you hang out with. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the 3-1 pitch now from Hoffaker to Coleman. Swing and a miss, and he will not strike out. I thought that was strike 3. It's strike 2. And the count 3-2. So a full count here to Coleman now, with Hoffaker looking for one more strike to get himself out of this inning here. 3-2 pitch, 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss, and down goes Coleman. And that's the inning. No runs score. Score remains 7-7. Back after this.
At GPO, we understand every member's journey is unique. That's why our employees take the time to listen, understand, and deliver personalized solutions that fit your life. From budgeting to borrowing, we're with you every step of the way. Your journey, our commitment. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
Chipola College, Nick Croce.
And we're back, and Nick Croce will lead things off here in the top of the 6th inning for the Stallions. It'll be Croce, DiPietro, and Aiden Schmidt all due up here in this inning. So we are jamming here in the booth. Good music, good times, and a great baseball game tied 7-7. So here is Croce. Waiting the first pitch here from Ancelli. Ancelli winds, delivers, and misses with ball 1 to Croce. Croce, the third baseman here tonight for the Stallions. 1-0 pitch. Here's Ancelli. High and inside for ball 2. And quickly ahead in the count now is Croce, 2-0. Ancelli on the 2-0. And a little chopper. And that's going to get through between the second base and the shortstop. So a single by Croce. I'll bring up Anthony DiPietro.
Catcher number 25 from Pace University, Anthony DiPietro.
So Anthony DiPietro is now the batter for the Stallions. He is the catcher for Saugerties. He is a left-handed batter facing the righty here in Ancelli. And he will step into the box with nobody out and a runner on first base. The ball game tied at 7. First pitch, he pops it up foul. And that brings the count to 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to DiPietro. Again, Ancelli going to that rosin bag often. His hands sweaty out there. And he throws back to first base. Runner slides back quickly. That ball gets slippery out there when your hands are wet with the heat and perspiration. And 0-1 the count, and gun back to first base goes Ancelli. Right runner slides back quickly is Croce. No balls and 1 strike here to DiPietro. And here's Ancelli with the pitch, and that is down low in the dirt, and the count 1-1. And I look out my window to my right, and what do I see? A real live Diamond Dog walking around. Yes, fans, dogs are in the park, on the field, and in the stands. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and yes, we count that as a fan for attendance. 2-1. Why not, right? Our furry friends are fans too. So 2 balls and 1 strike. So if you're still, again, at home in your air-conditioned house or room, enjoying the game, still time to come out here and sweat it out with us. That one is popped foul, and the catch is made down the third base line. So DiPietro fouls out. And that'll bring up Aiden Schmidt now.
Now batting for the Stallions, shortstop number 20 from Embry-Riddle, Aiden Schmidt.
So Aiden Schmidt, who has grounded out and popped out here tonight, now will come to the plate with 1 out and a runner on first base here for the Stallions in the top of the 6th inning. Schmidt steps into the box. And Ancelli looks over his shoulder, throws back to first. Runner slides back quickly again is Croce. So keeping a close eye on that runner is Ancelli. Ancelli now winds and delivers, and that one misses inside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Once in a while, we feel that little bit of a breeze gives you a little bit of hope, and then you go back to sweating. 1-0. Runner takes off here, and Crenshaw again loses the ball. He jumped up to make the throw, and it slipped right out of his hands. So that ball causing issues for everybody with the sweaty hands. 1-1 the count. Aiden Schmidt, the batter of the shortstop. 0-2 on the evening is Schmidt. And now he's got a runner on second base in scoring position with a 1 out and a 1-1 count. Ball game tied at 7, top of the 6th. We are coming to you from Little Falls, New York at Vets Memorial Park for a perfect game, Collegiate League Baseball. That one is popped up, and the right fielder moves over, makes the grab, and the runner's going to stay put. with out number 2. So I pop out from Aiden Schmidt for the second out. We'll bring up Jack Bayer.
47 from Embry-Riddle, Jack Bale.
So Jack Bale now the battery, right-handed bat here for the Stallions. As Bayer, the bottom of the lineup here for the Stallions, and they go back to the top of the order. But with 2 outs, they got a runner on second base, so it's going to be up to Bale here to keep this inning moving along if he can. Well, to do that, he's got to conquer Dylan Ancelli, who's on the mound. Ancelli looks. Looks at the runner at second and now delivers the pitch. And does so outside and low for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch coming from Ancelli now. 2 outs. Again, runner on second, not being held on, taking a generous lead. And that one right down the middle for a called strike, and the count 1-1. So 1 ball and a strike now to Bale, Jack Bale. Again, a runner on second base. A pretty big, good size lead, not being held on at the moment with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And that is popped up by Bale. This should do it for the inning as the second baseman calls it, makes the catch, and that'll do it. No run score, and the score remains 7-7. We head to the bottom of the 6th.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber, they're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
At NBT Bank, we know that this day starts with this one. This day starts with this one. Because no matter how unforgettable the extraordinary days are, there's a lot of every day that leads up to them. You can count on NBT Bank to help you get started. NBT Bank, it starts here.
Leading off the bottom of the 6th for your Dogs, third baseman number 6 from St. John's University, Roberto Valdez Jr.
And we are back for the bottom of the 6th. Roberto Valdez Jr. will lead things off here for the Dogs with his game knotted at 7. It'll be Roberto Valdez Jr., Colin Richter, and then Jake Hardy. But first, here's Valdez Jr. The first pitch to him is down low for ball 1 from Riley Hoffaker. So 1-0 the count. Valdez Jr. back in the box, ready to go. And Hoffaker looks in and will wind and deliver. And puts it high for ball 2. And the count quickly jumps to 2-0 now to Valdez Jr. Valdez Jr., the third baseman tonight for the Dogs. Here is Hoffaker now with the windup and the pitch that's outside for ball 3. So Valdez here in the driver's seat with a 3-0 count. Hoffaker now 3-0 pitch on its way and puts it low for ball 4. So 4 straight pitches to Valdez, all balls. And he will make the walk down the first base.
Number 28 from Monmouth University, Colin Richter.
So Colin Richter now the batter for the Dogs. Last time around for Richter, he is singled. And he is a left-handed batter, so he's going to face the righty here in Hoffaker. Hoffaker looks at the runner at first base. And now sets wind and delivers. Richter shows bunt, backs off. And gets ball one. So ball and no strikes. Jake Hardy on deck for the Dogs here in the bottom of the sixth. Colin Richter at the plate. 1-0 pitch. Again, bunt shown, pulls it back as that one was high, and the count 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 count here to Richter. And here's the pitch again. Shows bunt and puts one down foul over the third base seats. So 2-1. Couldn't get that ball down, could Richter. And so the count 2-1. So Richter set back in the batter's box, ready to go. Here is Hoppeker with the pitch. Again, bunt is shown, pulls it back. And the ball is dropped in front of the catcher. The runner takes off, and they throw him out at second base. And so out is the runner at second, and the count now is 3-1 to Richter. So 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here to Richter. Now nobody on the bags here for the Dogs. Bottom 6. Here's the pitch. And there is called strike 2, I'm sorry. As Richter thought maybe that was ball 4. He started to kind of make his way down the line just a bit, and that was called back. 3-2. Here's the pitch by Hoppeker. In the dirt, and that is ball 4, and Richter will take a walk down the first base line.
Ringer Dogs, right field number 4 from Fairfield University, Jake Hardy.
So Jake Hardy now the batter for Mohawk Valley. Hardy a righty here against the righty in Hoffaker. So a righty versus righty matchup with a runner on first base and 1 out here for the Dogs in the bottom of the 6th with the game tied at 7. Hoffaker is ready. He looked at the runner at first base quickly. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off. Here's the throw. And they got him in time for out number 2. So 2 outs, both runners are thrown out, stealing. And we're waiting to see what the call was at the plate. And that was ball 1 to Hardy. So 1-0 the count, but this time 2 outs. So nobody on the base pads for the Dogs for Hardy. And he's facing a 1-0 count with Hoffaker on the mound. Hoffaker kicks, winds, delivers. Big swing and a miss by Hardy in the count 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs. One pitch. Outside corner misses for ball 2. And 2-1 now. The count to Hardy. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Hoffaker sets now as picking up his pitch from his catcher, and now it winds and delivers. And there's a call, strike 2 outside corner, and the count 2-2. So with an even count, 2-2. Let's see what Hardy can do here at the plate against Hoffaker. Hoffaker is going to wind back up and let one rip here with a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 3. And we have a full count. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here with Hardy at the plate, Hoffaker on the mound. And 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. And That is a walk to Jake Hardy.
Now batting for your Dogs.
And the runner
shortstop,
on now
number
for the Dogs
17,
here in the bottom of the 6th.
University, Byron Arias.
So Byron Arias. Not sure what was going on. Someone was yelling, throw him out. I'm not sure what I missed. But here's Arias at the plate with 2 outs and a runner on first. Here's the pitch. And it is high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Arias. Arias 2 singles tonight and struck out looking. He's got a runner on first here with 2 outs with the ball game tied at 7 in the bottom of the 6th. Facing Hoffaker, here's the pitch. And there's a call, strike outside corner. That evens things up at 1-1 now to Arias. Arias taps his helmet, taps the plate, and he is ready to go at the plate. 1-1 pitch on its way. And it sails in low, and the count 2-1. Practice swing for Arias as he steps out, now steps back in. 2-1 now. 2-1 pitch, and that one misses for ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1 now. The pitch on its way to Arias. Here it is. And it's down low for ball 4. And he will take a walk down the first base line. So 3 walks in a row, 4 walks in a row. So here's Connor Scanlon. And with that, coach is coming out to the mound, and they're going to go to the bullpen. So we're going to have a new pitcher coming up here for the Stallions. Back after this.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber. They're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
And we're back. Cole Macklin, the new pitcher here for the Saugerties Stallions. In the bottom of the 6th, and Connor Scallon is the batter here against the new pitcher, Colin Macklin from Herkimer College. So Scallon will jump into the batter's box here with the runners on first and second here for the Dogs with 2 outs. So Macklin is ready. Scanlon is ready as well. Umpire gets behind the plate, calls play ball, and here we go. Righty is the pitcher and a right-handed batter in Scanlon. So first pitch is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Scanlon with Macklin on the mound with those pink cleats. 1-0, very stylish. 1-0 pitch. And that ball hit hard to short. Shortstop grabs it, goes to second, ends the inning, and they leave 2 runners stranded to the Dogs. And the score remains 7-7 after 6.
We're all tied at 7.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gym shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime.
Number 13 from Brown University, Callum McBurney. And now hitting for the Saugerties Stallions, designated hitter number 10 from Embry-Riddle, Cooper Schmidt.
So we are back, and Colin McBurney now pitching for Mohawk Valley. We also have a new catcher in the game, Jaden Santiago. So Colin McBurney now the pitcher. And we'll chopper to short, and he grabs it and throws on over and that one gets away from him. And safe at first on the E3.
Now batting for the Stallions, right fielder number 2 from Mississippi State, Michael Hanna.
So Michael Hanna now the batter. So here is Hanna at the plate against McBurney. Hanna, a left-handed batter, and the pitch is a strike to Hanna on the count, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike, runner on first base. Nobody out. Top 7 here from Vets Park in Little Falls. And again, back to first goes McBurney, and the runner slides back quickly. That's fans. Don't forget, mid-July, Cooperstown, New York, Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Make sure you check the schedule, see if we're playing here in Little Falls. If not, you can still stay out here and check out Little Falls. If the game is going on, you can check out a game during the day. Head on over. Go to Cooperstown during the day. Head on over to the game at night here. Makes for a great weekend of baseball and fun. 1-1, lots of shopping in the area you could do, so I highly recommend it. 2-1. Michael Hanna at the plate here for the Stallions. 2-1 pitch by McBurney, and that's fouled off in the count now, 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Michael Hanna with a ball game tied at 7 here in the top of the 7th. McBurney looks in now, looks at the runner at first base, being held on. And he's going to wind and deliver on the 2-2 here shortly to Hanna. And that is fouled off by Hanna down the third base line again. 2-2, the count remains. Well, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hanna. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We await the pitch here from McBurney. Taking a while to deliver the pitch. Now he delivers it, and that's fouled off again, and the count's going to stay put at 2-2. So a battle at the plate here with McBurney and Hanna. It's a long trip for the Stallions. They arrived here about an hour before the game. No BP, no infield. And that one is hit up the middle through the gap. And that is good for a base hit to put runners on first and second here in the top of the 7th with no outs here for Saugerties.
Now batting for the Stallions, second baseman number 11 from Siena University, Steven Ramirez.
So that'll bring up Steven Ramirez here. Ramirez is a left-handed batter for the Stallions. At the plate awaiting for the umpire to do some landscaping, clean off that home plate. Sure, it's nice pearly white so you can see it. And his work is done, and he's going to go back into a spot behind the catcher. So here's Ramirez at the plate now against McBurney with runners on first and second here with nobody out in the top of the 7th. And that one sails across for a strike in the count, 0-1 to Ramirez. No balls and 1 strike. This heat really silencing the fans here. They're just sitting, soaking in the sun. Baking in the sun, I should say. Starting to cool off a little bit now. It's still hot. But that sun takes a lot of that cheering out of you. Do hear some clapping once in a while, though. So once in a while they come to life. 0-2. I can't say I blame them. It's a little warm. 0-2. And Ramirez ready to go. McBurney set, runners on first and second, taking short leads. Not being held on. Here's the pitch. And that is high and outside for ball 1 from McBurney. And the count now 1-2. So getting to the late innings here with the ball game tied at 7. Both teams going back and forth, trading leads and runs. Lots of pitchers, couple home runs. And the count now 1-2. McBurney looks at that runner at second base a couple times before he delivers the pitch, and he throws it high over Santiago's head, and that's going to allow the runners to advance to second and third, so that puts runners in scoring position with nobody out. And let's see how things change now for the Stallions with the runners in scoring position and nobody out, and a 2-2 count with the ball game tied at 7. So Ramirez, the number 3 hitter in the lineup, the number 4 hitter is on deck. 2-2. McBurney sets and delivers, and that is fouled off, and the count remains 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Steven Ramirez, the batter, he has singled, doubled, and grounded out this evening. 2-2. McBurney sets, kicks, delivers, and calls. Strike 3. And he strikes out Ramirez on a big, big pitch there. Ramirez not happy as Danny Surowitz comes to the plate. Daniel Sorowiak now the batter here for to intentionally walk Suryak. That will load the bases now for Saugerties with the opportunity for a double play. So ball hit on the ground, a double play opportunity or force out in any base. So here's Recio, who has struck out twice this evening, hit by a pitch. Here's the pitch. And that ball hit up the middle for a base hit, and this is going to score one. And here comes the second one, throw at the plate. Not in time. They're going to go to third with it instead. And I think they got the force at third. Is that correct? Yes, they did. But 2 runs scored. And now the score 9-7. Stallions ahead. The ball was hit up the middle. First runner scored. Second runner came across. And they threw to third, and they got the out at third base. So Recio with the single, and Mike Coelho is now the batter. Right-handed batter is Coelho to face McBurney here in the top of the 7th, now with a 2-run lead for the Stallions. Here's the pitch. That ball's fouled off by Coelho in the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. All 1 count here to Coelho. And there, that pitch misses. And a double for Recio. So we're changing that in my scorekeeping thing here. I thought it was a single. 1-1 the count, 2 outs. If you're scoring at home, Recio with a double in his last at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Coelho at the plate. Here's the windup and the pitch by McBurney. And there's a call, strike 2 right down the center of the plate, and the count now 1-2. So McBurney ahead of the count with 2 outs. He really needs this guy here. Would love to get the out here and get out of this inning with minimal damage. 1-2. Runner on second base here for the Stallions with a 1-2 count to Coelho. McBurney looks at the runner at second, kicks, winds, and delivers. Down low for ball 2, and the count now even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the 7th. The Stallions have put up 2 runs and taken the lead 9-7 in the late inning here in the top of the 7th. 2-2 pitch. Be on its way shortly here from McBurney. And he delivers that one high, and we have a full count now. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here on the big pitch here to Mike Coelho from McBurney. 3-2, here's the windup and the pitch by McBurney. And that is inside and high for ball 4, so he'll put him on. And now Nick Croce will come to the plate.
Now heading for the Stallions, third baseman number 17 from Chipola College, Nick Croce.
So here is Croce with runners on first and second here for the Stallions in the top of the 7th with 2 outs. Croce steps into the box as McBurney looks in, and he sets now. Looks at the runner at second base and delivers the pitch. Called strike 1, and the count 0-1. So no balls and a strike. McBurney back on the rubber. Looks in to pick up his sign from his catcher. Does so. And now he's going to glance at that runner at second like he always does and deliver the pitch on the 0-1. Takes another glance before he delivers the pitch. And that one was left high in the count 1-1. So a ball and a strike here to Croce. Stallions looking for a hit here or a walk. Meanwhile, the Dogs looking for an out. 1-1. Croce awaits the pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2. And now McBurney needs 1 more strike to get himself out of this jam here and head to the bottom of the 7th, down 2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And there's a swing and a miss. They're going to check. And they say he went. That'll end the inning. So 2 runners left stranded after the top of the 7th. It is 9-7 Saugerties.
Some people might think that the tire shop in Canajoharie only does tires. Nah, that's only their name. The tire shop does so much more. Oil changes, custom wheels, interstate batteries, computer wheel balancing, tire repair service and recapping, auto accessories, tire chains, ag bags, bale and net wrap, and much more. And when it comes to tires, the tire shop in Canajoharie also does so much more. Lawn and garden tires, off the road, backhoe, loader tires, log skidder, agricultural, ATV and UTV tires, and on the farm tire services. The tire shop is a multi-line new tire dealer. That means they're quite a choice for top brand name tires for your car, truck, SUV, semi-tractor, and trailer, all at great prices. They're also a Goodyear national accounts and state contract pricing location. Financing available too. Find more information and a list of services at thetireshop.biz. Thetireshop.biz. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. Yes, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Tire Shop, 155 Erie Boulevard in Canajoharie.
And we are back for the bottom of the 7th inning. And Jake Dolan will lead things off here for the Dogs in the bottom of the 7th. Dogs find themselves down 2 runs after a 2-run top of the 7th here for the Stallions. So Dogs looking to put up 2 more runs themselves or more to knot this thing up as we get into the later innings here. So Colin Macklin, the pitcher on the mound here for the Stallions. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1 from Dolan. So no balls and 1 strike to Dolan. Here's Macklin now with the 0-1 pitch. And that is outside for ball 1 in the count, 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Dolan. Here's the pitch. And there's another swing and a miss in the count now, 1-2 to Jake Dolan. Dolan has struck out looking tonight, singled and walked. And here's Macklin delivering on the 1-2. And has fouled off. He just got a piece to Dolan. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2. Nice job by the field crew here at Little Falls as the infield is mowed in a circular motion this time. It's good. And that hits the first baseman. He unable to make the play. He bobbles it, and E3 on the play. And so Dolan reaches on an error. And here is Jaden Santiago. So Jaden Santiago now the batter for the Dogs. And he's going to head down to the third base line to talk to his coach, Steve Luby. And Coach Luby provides some advice, and back to the home plate area comes Jaden Santiago. Well, first at bat of the evening here for Santiago. And he's got a runner on first base, nobody out, bottom 7, down 2. So Santiago ready to face Macklin here. Macklin delivers, shows bunt, pulls it back to Santiago, and that is strike one. So no balls and one strike to Santiago as he steps out, adjusts his batting gloves, looks down the third base line, and he will dig in and get back into the batter's box here as Macklin looks at the runner at first. 0-1, here's the pitch. Again, shows bunt, pulls it back again. This time was a ball on the count, 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike here to Jaden Santiago. His Dogs looking to get back here, down 9-7. They throw over to first, runner gets back quickly. That is Dolan. And Macklin again looks over his shoulder at that runner. They're keeping him close at first base. And again, Santiago showing bunt, puts it down, and pitcher picks it up, tosses it over to first, and Santiago does his job, moves the runner over to second base.
Now batting for your Dogs, second baseman number 44.
And here is the second baseman now coming up for the Dogs, Nolan Colby. And Colby, a left-handed batter here for the Dogs to face the righty in Colin Macklin. With 1 out and a runner in scoring position, the tying run at the plate here for the Dogs. And here is Macklin staring down the runner at second base. And now he's going to wind and deliver. Puts it down the middle for a call, strike one. So no balls and a strike to Nolan Colby. Kyle Coleman on deck. So no balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And that is popped foul. And the count 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. And the pitcher wants a new baseball, throws it out. And here comes a fresh new sparkly ball for the pitcher, Colin Macklin. So 0-2 as the pitcher heads back to the top of the rubber mound. And the count 0-2 now. Here to Colby. On second base being held on. Shortstop right behind him. And then he pulls out. And that is popped up. And this could be out of play, it looks like. And the count remains now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Colby. So some more baseballs coming into the ball game due to all the foul balls that have been hit. The umpire needs some new pearly whites to play ball, so puts that in his little pouch, kangaroo pouch. 0-2. Not sure what that's called. Ball pouch? I'm going to call it the kangaroo pouch. 0-2. It's probably an official name for it. Ball satchel. And that one misses for ball 1. The count 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on second again. Taking a few steps off the bag. Shortstop's right behind him. Then he backs off. Little chopper might be trouble, and it is as it gets past the first baseman who came in. And that was a tough play. That was a tough play for the first baseman. He came in, and that ball kind of glided behind him, and there's no one there to cover. And so that is ruled a hit.
Designated hitter number 25 from Belmont University, Kyle Coleman.
So Kyle Coleman now the batter. Coleman hit a home run in this game and his first at bat here tonight. And now he's got runners on first and third with just 1 out, down 2. So Coleman represents the go-ahead run at the plate here in the bottom of the 7th. There's the pitch. Outside, ball 1 to Coleman. Well, 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 the count. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that is popped foul on the count, 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Coleman. 1-1 to Coleman. Coleman steps out momentarily before he makes his way back in. He's got runners on the corners here. In the bottom of the 7th, down 2 with a 1-1 count and 1 out. Macklin's the pitcher, and he delivers the pitch. And that is popped foul by Coleman in the count now, 1-2. So Dogs continuing the battle here in this ball game. It's been a back and forth affair all game. 12 hits for the Dogs, 10 for the Stallions, and the score 9-7. Stallions ahead. Long trip for the Stallions. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. And as a called strike 3, Coleman wasn't sure about that one, but called out, and he will make the long walk back to the dugout.
Third baseman number 6 from St. John's University, Roberto Valdez Jr.
So with 2 outs, Roberto Valdez Jr. now will come to the plate for the Dogs with runners on the corners. 2 outs for Valdez Jr. Macklin looks at the runner at first, then at third, and now delivers the pitch. And does so down the middle for a strike that hit the outside corner, and the count 0-1. A 1 ball, no balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. Macklin sets, kicks now, and delivers on the 0-1 pitch. And one is fouled off, and the count quickly 0-2. So Cole Macklin ahead in the count here on Valdez Jr., 0-2. We are in the bottom of the 7th inning from Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls, New York. You're listening to Perfect Game Collegiate League Baseball. It is the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs against the Saugerties Stallions. Stallions lead 9-7 in the bottom of the 7th, with the Dogs knocking on the door here. 0-2. Here's the pitch. And that's fallen off again behind us here in the count. 0-2 remains. No balls and 2 strikes. Valdez Jr., the bottom of the batting order for the Dogs. Should he reach safely, we go to the top of the order as Colin Richter awaits on deck. 0-2. Macklin looks over to first base and now delivers the pitch. And that ball hit to the shortstop. He bobbles it, picks it up, throws a second, gets the force, ends the inning, no run score. 9-7, Saugerty leads after 7.
If you're looking for some shopping and dining, head on over to Canal Place, where you will find quaint shops, galleries, restaurants, and inns situated in the old mill buildings and storefronts along the waterfront of Canal Place. They've become known as the happening place for the arts in the Mohawk Valley. Not so long ago, many of these buildings were working mills serving the garment industry. Even today, after conversion to service retail space, many of these rugged but lovely structures speak to our great regional manufacturing heritage. If you're looking for fine arts, entertainment, or antiques, you simply must pay a visit to Canal Place.
For the Saugerties Stallions, catcher number 25 from East University, Anthony DePetro.
So top of the 8th, it'll be Anthony DiPietro leading things off here for the Stallions, leading 9-7. It'll be DiPietro, Aiden Schmidt, and Jack Bayer all due up here in the inning for the Stallions. On the mound for the Dogs is Dylan Ancelli. So here is the first pitch here in the top of the 8th, and that one misses for ball one. The count 1-0. So 1 ball and no strike to DiPietro, the catcher for the Stallions. 1-0 pitch, misses for ball 2, and the count now 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 pitch in the dirt for ball 3, in the count now 3-0 here to DiPietro. So 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0. Here's the windup and the pitch. Called strike 1 in the count 3-1. DiPietro digs in with a 3-1 count here, waiting the pitch from Ancelli. Ancelli looks in, delivers, and that is popped up into left field. And third baseman is calling everybody off, and he makes the grab. Did he catch it? Oh. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3-2 on the foul ball there. As we will reset here and do it all over again with DiPietro at the plate and Ancelli on the mound. 3-2. There's the windup and the pitch. And that one misses for ball 4. He'll take a walk, will DiPietro. And a runner on here in the top of the 8th for the Stallions. And coming to the plate is Aiden Schmidt. So Aiden Schmidt, who has popped out twice and grounded out once here tonight, will step into the batter's box on the right side to face Ancelli with a runner on, nobody out here in the top of the 8th with a 2-run lead. And that one misses, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Schmidt ready in the box. Runner on first, taking a short lead. And that is popped foul on the count now, even at 1. So 1 ball and a strike. So 1-1 here, the count to Aiden Schmidt. One pitch. And nope, we're going to go back to first before he throws that pitch. And the runner slides back. Count remains 1-1 to Schmidt as he awaits his third pitch here from Ancelli. 1-1 the count. And here comes Ancelli with the 1-1. And that one hit over the head of the second baseman for a base hit. And that's going to put runners on first and second here with nobody out in the top of the 8th for the Stallions. So Stallions looking for some insurance runs here in the top of the 8th inning. So Jack Bayer now the batter for the Stallions with nobody out. Runners on first and second. Dogs looking to try to contain the runs here and go into the bottom of the 8th, just down 2. Meanwhile, the Stallions looking to add more runs if they can. Here's the pitch. And that is popped up high to left field. And left fielder at the wall. And he drops it. Ball drops in. And 1 run's going to score. And they add to the lead. I don't know, 1 or 2, I'm not sure. So we go back to the top of the order here with Cooper Schmidt. So 10-7 now the score. with the runners on second and third here. Still nobody out here in the top of the 8th for the Stallions. That one misses, 4-1. So 1 ball, no strikes to Cooper Schmidt. One pitch is fouled off in the count, even at 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Dogs really need to minimize the damage here at the top of the 8th inning. Already down 3. They got runners on the second and third due the Stallions. And the Stallions would love to keep tacking on more runs here as the game gets late in the innings here. Here's the pitch. Outside corner called strike. And the count 1-2. So that pitch hugged the outside corner of the plate. And 1-2 now the count to Schmidt. Hannah on deck for the Stallions. Again, runners on second and third, both in scoring position here with nobody out. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Down low. And the count even at 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 here to Schmidt. He digs in at the plate, waits the pitch from Ancelli. Ancelli looks, winds, and delivers, and puts that one down low and outside for ball 3 in the count now full 3-2. So 1 spot to put him at first base. Let's see what happens here with a full count. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the windup and the pitch, and he swings and fouls that one off. Does Schmidt, and the count remains 3-2, and we will do it all over again with a 3-2 count here. Again, nobody out here for the Stallions. Top 8. They lead 10-7. Three and 2. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that is outside for ball 4, and they will load the bases. Will the Stallions for the number 2 hitter, Michael Hanna, coming to the plate.
For the Stallions, right fielder number 2 from Mississippi State, Michael Hanna.
And with that, here comes Coach Luby. And this might do it as he's going to look down to the bullpen. And we're going to have a new pitcher. So we're going to take a quick break and return after this.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our number 1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
And so we are back. Michael Hanna is the batter for the Stallions here with the bases loaded with nobody out in the top of the 8th inning. New pitcher on the mound for the Dogs is Harsh Ramayana Venkak. So Venkak, the new pitcher, righty here for the Dogs. First pitch from Venkak down low for ball 1. So no place to put another runner on the base pads. That is full of Stallions here in the top of the 8th. 1-0 pitch. Here it is. That one is hit sharply to center field. It's going to bounce in front of the center fielder. And here comes 1 run. And looks like the runner is caught between second and third. He's out. They're going to throw home because the runner's got to come home. They got him caught between third and home, and they're going to throw to home. And they got him at the plate. So they get the out. So 2 outs after the miscue on the base pads there. So here's Steven Ramirez. So a run does score in that mess. The ball was hit to center field, and the ball was thrown in, and the runner got caught between the bases and all kinds of trouble. And 2 runners were thrown out in that debacle, let's call it. So with 2 outs, quickly went from 0 to 2 outs, but a run does score, and that ball is hit on the ground, foul on the count, 0-1 from Venkak. So 11-7 now the score here at the top of the 8th. Steven Ramirez, the batter here for the Stallions. That one sails across for a ball on the count, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and that is fouled off on the count, 1-2. So 1 more strike needed here for the Dogs to get out of this inning. 2 runs have already come across. And they would like to end it there. 1-2. Here's Venkak taking his time. And he's going to wind and deliver. Inside, ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Venkak from Brown University. He is our neurosurgeon on the mound. Literally, that's what he's going to school for. Smart kid. 2-2. I believe he's a dual major as well. So I'd like to talk to him sometime and ask him how he balances neurosurgeon school, a dual major, and just playing baseball on the side too. I could barely eat breakfast and read the newspaper at the same time. 2-2 as that one was fouled off. Well, 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And that one's fouled off, and the count remains 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Steven Ramirez. Runner on third base for the Stallions, 11-7 lead. Here's the pitch. That ball hit right back to Venkak. He grabs it, tosses over first, ends the inning, 2-run score, and they extend the lead to 11-7 to Saugerties. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Dogs coming up.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
center fielder number 28 from Monmouth University, Colin Richter.
And so we are back for the bottom of the eighth. We have a new pitcher on the mound from the University of Maine for Saugerties. That is Caleb Swart. Caleb Swart now pitching for Saugerties. And at the plate for the Dogs is the leadoff hitter, Colin Richter. So top of the order for the Dogs here. First pitch from Swart is a ball on the count 1-0. So it'll be Richter, Hardy, and Arias all due up here for the Dogs. And there's a strike, the count 1-1. Dogs find themselves down 4 runs here in the bottom of the eighth, 11-7. Chip away at this lead over the next 2 innings. Here's the pitch. And there's a ball on the count 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike here to Richter. Richter has walked, singled, popped out, and then singled and was thrown out. Running, getting caught between the bases. 2-1. Here's Swart with the pitch. And that is popped up by Richter. And second baseman calls everybody off. And he dropped it. He had the ball and it fell out of his glove. And Richter ends up at second base. So a hit and an error on the second baseman is the official call if you're scoring at home.
Now for your Dogs, right fielder number 4 from Fairfield University, Jake Hardy.
So here's Jake Hardy. Hardy has singled a few times here tonight and walked a couple times. And he is at the plate now with nobody out and a runner on second here in the bottom of the eighth. And the pitch from Schwartz down low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. The flag out in center field is idle. It is sleeping, napping, not moving at all. And that one is popped up. Catcher takes his mask off and makes the grab. So a pop out to the catcher from Hardy for out number 1. So Byron Arias now the batter. So here's Byron Arias, who has singled twice, struck out looking once, and walked here this evening. He's a lefty at the plate here for the Dogs, facing the righty in Schwartz. Schwartz is ready, and he delivers. And he misses for ball 1 to Arias. 1-0 the count. Schwartz looks in, runner on second base, not being held on at the moment. Here's the pitch. And that is popped foul. And the count 1-1. So a ball and a strike to Byron Arias. Connor Scallon on deck for the Dogs. Dogs have a runner on second base with 1 out. Down 4. Bottom 8. Here's the pitch by Schwartz. And that one is popped up into the glove of the center fielder, who makes the grab for out number 2. So for the Dogs, 4 more outs left to tie this game up or take the lead. So here's Connor Scallon. And Scallon hit a home run, 3-run home run in his first at-bat here tonight. So with 2 outs, runner on first, here is Scallon at the plate, ready to face Caleb Schwartz. I went in the dirt by Schwartz, stopped by the catcher, and the count 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes, 2 outs. So next home game, fans, is Sunday night. It's a early start. Make sure you check the schedule, 5:05. And the Boonville Lumberjacks come to town. They're playing some good baseball right now, is Boonville. So they will be here on Sunday. So make sure you clear your calendars for Sunday and come out to the game. Make a day of it. Hit the shops, get some food, catch the game, and enjoy a nice evening out. 3 balls and no strikes. And It's also a cheap evening out. It won't cost you much. That's why you can take the significant other out to one of the fine establishments in Little Falls, get something to eat. Then check out the antique shops and buy me something nice. And come to the game. 3-1 to Scanlon. I just kidding. You don't have to buy me anything. Just come to the game. 3-1, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And that one misses down low for ball 4. And now runners on first and second here for the Dogs.
Now batting for your Dogs, left fielder number 35 from Seton Hall, Jake Dolan.
So Jake Dolan is now the batter for the Dogs here. As Dolan reached on an error walk tonight, singled and struck out looking. He's got 2 outs here, but he's got runners on first and second, down 4. And the first pitch to Dolan, is a strike. Sorry, lost my place here on my score sheet. 0-1. And that one down low for ball 1 on the count, 1-1. A ball and a strike with 2 outs here. Pitcher on the mound is Caleb Schwartz. Runners on first and second for the Dogs. 2 outs, 1-1 count to Dolan. And that one misses for ball 2, and the count now 2-1. So a big opportunity here for the Dogs to try to get some runs on the board. With just one more chance. 4 more outs in this ball game. And there's a strike, and the count now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jake Dolan. Again, runners on first and second for the Dogs. They need those runs badly, down 4. Bottom of the 8th. Last 2 innings, Stallions scored 2 runs in each, and that's the 4-run difference. And that ball hit to the third baseman. This could be trouble as he throws across, and he can't make the throw because it was too late. And so a single by Dolan, continues the inning.
Number 7 from Columbia University, Jaden Santiago.
So here's Jaden Santiago with bases loaded for the Dogs. Talk about an opportunity here for Santiago. Last time up, sacrifice bunt. And here comes Coach. And let's see, there is activity in the bullpen down in the Stallions bullpen. Let's see if this is it. You give him the hook, or he's going to keep him in there. Looks like he's staying in. Just going to talk to him a bit. So Jaden Santiago, what's going through his mind here, with bases loaded, 2 outs, as he represents the tying run at the plate. So no pressure here for Santiago. And for most of us, we'd be nervous. But these guys play big college league baseball. They are ready for these moments. So Santiago will get his shot here. And the pitcher looking for a new baseball. So Caleb Schwartz asking for a new ball. You might as well ask for a new ball if you can get one, right? So here we go. It is Schwartz versus Santiago with bases loaded here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 outs. Schwartz delivers the pitch and swing in a foul ball, and the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Santiago came into the ball game earlier, replacing catcher Joe Crenshaw. And now he's got a chance to tie this game up as he represents the tying run at the plate. 0-1, here's the pitch. And that's fouled off. Right back here, protected by that trusty fence that we put a lot of faith in. And once in a while, that ball's gotten through a couple of times. Not this season, knock on wood. But it finds its way in here. You'll know when it comes in, trust me. 0-2, you'll know. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And that's a ball, close one there. as Santiago took a little bit of chance there. That was a close pitch. Could have gone either way. 1-2 now the count to Santiago. He can't leave this one at the plate with bases loaded. 1-2. Here's Schwartz now with the pitch. And that one hits him. So with no place to put him, a run's going to score after Santiago hit by a pitch. So he'll take that. And that's going to bring up Nolan Colby.
Now batting for your Dogs, second baseman number 44 from Fairfield University, Nolan Colby.
So here's Nolan Colby, who has singled in his last attempt here tonight. He's also grounded out twice and struck out. He is a lefty here to face the righty in Schwartz. Bullpen activity is alive down in the bullpen area for the Stallions, but he's going to stay in there right now with Schwartz with bases loaded. And that was followed off by Colby, and the count 0-1 with 2 outs. So big opportunity here for the Dogs in the bottom of the 8th. They've already picked up 1, cut this lead down to 3, and that ball is foul. That was down the first base line close, just foul, and Colby will make the trek back to home plate. Down 0-2 here. So 0-2 in the count. Colby's going to have to battle at the plate and not let Schwartz sneak one by him here. 0-2. See who wins this battle here at the plate. Schwartz versus Colby. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Schwartz gets the best of them. Ends the inning, leaves bases loaded. The Dogs pick up 1. They're down 11-8. We head to the top of the 9th.
And be sure to be back here on Sunday.
Visit the Daily Post and stay connected with the latest news, information, and events in the Mohawk Valley. Our mission is to generate interest in the area and connect residents in a more meaningful way by facilitating deeper conversations about how these stories will shape the future of the Mohawk Valley. Join thousands of weekly visitors who stay up to date with feature stories, interviews, videos, our event calendar, and print publication, the Mohawk Valley Express. It's about timely local news for the community, keeping citizens informed about important issues, telling about the people who live and work here, and giving locally owned businesses the opportunity to reach a very targeted audience of locals and tourists alike. It's a whole new form of media-rich content developed specifically for today's mobile lifestyle and listeners. You can download our iOS app in the iTunes Store, listen to our podcast, or sign up for our weekly email newsletter. Stop by today at thedailypost.digital. You'll be glad you did.
And we are back, top of the 9th. Dogs down 11-8. New pitcher on the mound for the Dogs is number 30, Aiden Strout. Aiden Strout now pitching for the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. They're down 3 here in the top of the 9th. And so here we go for the Dogs and the Stallions here in the top of the 9th inning. Strout looking to contain the bats here for the Stallions, and that first pitch is a strike on the count, 0-1. So Danny Sirowiak is the batter, and he faces an 0-1 count here. Here's the pitch, and that's fouled off by Soriak, and the count 0-2. So quickly ahead in the count now is Strout, 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2. And that one just misses for ball 1. The count now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. And out number 1.
Now batting for the Stallions, first baseman number 12 from the University of Richmond, Ryan Recchio.
So here's Ryan Rescio. Rescio has doubled in his last at bat. Also a couple strikeouts and was hit by a pitch. A right-handed batter is Rescio facing the lefty in Strout. Strout is ready. Rescio's ready. Here's the windup and the pitch. And right down the middle for called, strike 1. 0-1 to Rescio here. Oh and 1 now the count. And that one misses for ball 1 on the count, 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And there's a called strike 2 in the count now, 1-2 to Rescio. Here's the 1-2. And that one is hit up the middle for a base hit by Rescio. And he is safe at first. So the first runner on here in the top of the 9th for the Stallions is Rescio with a single.
Now batting for the Stallions, extra hitter number 9 from Weber International, Mike Cuello.
So here's Mike Cuello, who has walked on his last at bat. He's ready to go here and face Aiden Strout for the first time in the ball game here. Strout has a runner on first base. And Cuello at the plate, a right-handed batter versus the lefty here in Strout. That's outside for ball 1, the count 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes here to Cuello. After Cuello Croce, Mike Croce is on deck. And that is high for ball 2 in the count now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes, 1 out. And the back through first base goes the pitcher Strout, and the runner quickly getting back is Rescio. Rescio at first, Cuello at the plate. Here's the 2-0. And swing and a miss, and that is strike 1, and the count now 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike, 1 out here. 11-8 is the score. Stallions ahead here in the top of the 9th. Dogs trying to quiet these bats here in the top of the 9th and take it to the bottom of the 9th to try to tie or win this thing in the bottom of the half of the 9th inning. That's fouled off, and the count now even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Cuello. Two and 2. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss for strike 3. And that is 2 outs now for the Stallions here in the top of the 9th. So here's Nick Croce. Croce struck out So Croce struck out in his last at bat. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And there's a strike at the count, 0-1. So ahead of the count quickly is Aiden Strout. No balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. And that one misses for ball 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And it's outside for ball 2. And the count now 2-1 to Croce. Dogs leading 1 more out here to get out of this inning and bring it to the bottom of the 9th. Try to tie this thing up or win it in the bottom half of the 9th inning. 2-1 the count with 2 outs. Aiden Strout, the pitcher on the mound. Mike Croce, the batter. Here's the pitch in the dirt. Stopped by Santiago. The count now 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike here to Croce at the plate. Croce, a right-handed batter facing the lefty in Strout. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And there's a call, strike 2. And a full count now. As Strout looking to get him here and end this inning and get to the bottom half of the 9th. 3-2. Here's Strout now with the pitch. And nope, we're going to go to first base. And the first baseman wasn't there. And he just threw it away. A costly mistake there. That puts the runner in scoring position as Strout took a step to throw over to first, and the first baseman wasn't there covering. Miscommunication there between players. Those are things that got to get worked out. 3-2. Here's Strout now with the windup and the pitch. And that is high for ball 4. And he will walk him and put runners on first and second now for the Stallions.
Catcher number 25 from Pace University, Anthony DiPietro.
So Anthony DiPietro now the batter for the Stallions. This time they have runners on first and second with 2 outs. It's a big batter for both teams here. With only 1 spot to put DiPietro here. And there's a strike. First pitch to DiPietro, the count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. Strout sets now. Winds and delivers. Runners take off. No throw. And that is strike 2. So now runners in scoring position here. And DiPietro facing an 0-2 count. So 1 more strike needed here by Strout to get his team to where he wants in the bottom of the 9th. Excuse me. 0-2. Here's the pitch. And it's down low for ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Strout versus DiPietro. A 1-2 count. Runners on second and third. 11-8 to score. Top 9. Dogs are down. 1-2. And here comes the pitch from Strout. And that is high and inside for ball 2. And the count even at 2-2 now. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Getting a little dicey here for the Dogs. As Strout again looks in. He needs 1 more strike. And all is well. 2-2, here's the pitch. And down low and a full count here. So all the marbles here with runners on second and third. 1 spot to put DiPietro. A 3-run lead for the Stallions. Top 9, 2 outs. 3-2 pitch. Strout delivers. And that misses for ball 4. And bases now loaded for Aiden Schmidt.
Now batting for the Stallions, shortstop number 20 from Embry-Riddle, Aiden Schmidt.
So Aiden Schmidt now the batter with bases loaded. Full of galloping Stallions all over the place. Looks like a horse farm here in Little Falls. Sorry, that's all I can come up with. I do. Here's the pitch. No balls and 1 strike. That was a good one, folks. You got to admit. Come on, that was pretty good. No balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. Thought about it all game long, you know. 0-1. Here's the pitch. And in dirt. And Santiago keeps that one in front of him. And the count now 1-1 to Aiden Schmidt. So Schmidt singled in his last at bat. A base hit here opens things up for the Stallions. And an out here brings the Dogs where they want in the bottom of the 9th with a chance. 1-1. 2 outs. Here's Strout with the pitch. And down low, stop by Santiago again, and the count now jumps to 2-1. Stroud taking a deep breath here with a 2-1 count. Looks in, gets his count. Gets his sign, I should say. 2-1, here's the pitch. And it's popped foul on the count now, 2-2. So one more strike again needed for Strout. He so badly needs it here with bases loaded. Almost hear a pin drop here in Little Falls. 2-2. The Stallions are quiet right now, Dave. The Stallions are quiet. And that one misses it down low. And here we go again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We've seen this before. This time he can't put anybody on. It'll score a run. 3-2. And here is the pitch from Strout. Takes a deep breath, delivers the pitch, and that's fouled off. And we're going to reset and do it all again as our scorekeeper over here on the edge of his seat. 3-2. Looks like the ump is walking it off. He might have to get hit in the leg or something. No, he just needs some more baseballs. You would walk funny if you're sitting out there for how many hours? Holy cow. I give him a lot of credit. 3-2. They should get these guys chairs in the back of the why stand up the whole time? So 3-2. And that one is popped to the center field at the wall, and it is gone. Wow. A mammoth home run. A grand slam. And we talk about those horses galloping. They were all let out of the barn, and they came home. So a grand slam by Aiden Schmidt. And wow. That changes the mood here a little bit in Little Falls quickly. 15-8 is the score. So here's Jack Bayo with 2 outs. And there's a strike. The count 0-1. So that did not turn out well for the Dogs or Aiden Strout. Here's the pitch. And that one is hit into left field. It's going to bounce in front of the left fielder for a base hit. And so the inning continues here for the Stallions. So Cooper Schmidt now, the top of the order for the Stallions, will come to the plate. So Schmidt walked in his last at bat, and he's still moving this game along. 2 outs, and they're still up there batting away. There's the first pitch to Schmidt is a ball on the count 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. 1-0 pitch from Strout, and that one misses for ball 2 in the count 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Strout trying to settle down here, just get out of this inning. 2-0, and he called a strike on that one. That was shocking to the catcher, or to the batter. Two and 1, little jokes being shouted out. Coach didn't like it. He yelled at his team. Asked about the getting the 5-iron out. I think it was the ump that maybe yelled at him. It was kind of funny, though. It's kind of like my barn joke. Listen, we all are dehydrated. We have no sweat left in our bodies. And they're, I'm just call a strike because he wants to go home too. He needs a shower too. 2-2. And that's hit into the glove of the second baseman. Scoops it up, throws over, ends the inning finally. But the score is 15-8 now. And we head to the bottom of the ninth. See what the Dogs can do. Back after this.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gem shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime.
And here we go, fans, back for the bottom of the ninth. Dogs have a little bit of a challenge ahead of themselves, down 15-8, but nothing is impossible with the Dogs.
Now pitching for the Stallions, number 36, McCoy Rowe from the Culinary Academy. And now batting for the DiamondDawgs, designated hitter number 25 from Belmont University, Kyle Holder.
McCoy who?
McCoy Rowe, R-O-T-H-E.
So here's McCoy Rote, the new pitcher for the Stallions here in the bottom of the ninth, and delivers the first pitch of the bottom of the ninth to Coleman, and that is a strike to count 0-1. So Dogs are going to have to get on base here, get some runs across, at least tie this thing up in the bottom of the ninth. One batter at a time. Let's see what happens. That was high and inside, and the count 1-1. Backs him up quite a bit there. To Kyle Coleman. He struck out in his last two attempts here, has Coleman. 1-1. Here's Rote down with the pitch. Rote, a right-hander, and that is fouled off in the count 1-2. So ball and 2 strikes. Fans, don't forget, back here on Sunday evening, a 5:05 early start as the Boonville Lumberjacks come to town. So make plans to be out here. Great day at the ballpark on Sunday. 1-2. And that one takes a bounce away from the catcher in the count 2-2 now. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Coleman. It'll be Kyle Coleman, Roberto Valdez Jr., and then we go back to the top of the order with Colin Richter. But first, here is Coleman facing a 2-2 count. There's the windup and the pitch, and that is popped up into left field, and it's going to go out of play. And the count's going to remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 here to Coleman now. Those Dogs down to their final 3 outs here in the bottom of the ninth here at Vets Park in Little Falls on a hot, humid day for baseball. 2-2 as Coleman steps back into the box here to face Rote. Rote sets, winds, and delivers on the 2-2. And that's a shot to left field. And that's going to drop in. And he's going to head to second. And he's going to round second, head to third. All going to go back to second now as that ball came in a lot quicker than expected. So a double for Kyle Coleman. Exactly what the Dogs need here. 1 hit at a time. So Roberto Valdez Jr. now the batter for the Dogs. with nobody out and a runner in scoring position on second base. Dogs got to chip away here. One hitter at a time against Rote. This time around, it'll be Roberto Valdez Jr. with nobody out and a runner on second. So here's Rote now with the windup and the pitch. It is high for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Rote looks in, runner on second base, not being held on, taking a few steps off the bag. Now taking a little bit bigger of a lead. And that one is popped up into foul territory down the first base line, out of play. And the count jumps to 1-1. So a ball and a strike to Valdez Jr. Bottom of the order for the Dogs before we go to the top. 1-1. Roberto Valdez Jr. is set to go. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that's fouled off into the tennis courts here, and the count jumps to 1-2. A 1 ball, 2 strikes. Righty versus righty here with Rote and Valdez Jr. at the plate. 1-2. Rote looks in. Coleman on second base. No one holding him on at the moment. 15-8 lead here for the Stallions. And there's a swing and a miss, and down goes Valdez for out number 1.
Your Dogs, center fielder number 28 from Monmouth University, Colin Richter.
So Colin Richter now the batter. Top of the order for the Dogs. Left-handed batter is going to face the righty here in Cote with 1 out and a runner on second. Dogs need runs, and they only have 2 outs to do it. Here's Rote outside, ball 1. One and 0 the count now. Rote looks at the runner at second before he kicks, winds, and delivers. And that is popped up. First baseman calls everybody off. He's going to make the grab for out number 2. So the Dogs down to their final out here. Big task at hand, down 15-8 with 1 out and a runner on second. So here's Jake Hardy for the Dogs. And it's up to him to keep this game moving along and give the Dogs some hope here. Still baseball left to play, never over until the last out. So let's see what the Dogs can do here with Jake Hardy at the plate. Rote is ready, and he delivers the pitch down low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs here to Hardy. Hardy popped out in his last at bat. Can't do that again here. 1-0. Rote looks at the runner at second and delivers. Swing and a miss, and the count 1-1. So ball and a strike here to Jake Hardy. Hardy, right-handed batter. He's facing the righty in McCoy Rote. Rote looks in, looks at the runner at second. Again, not being held on. 1-1. Inside. Ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And 2 outs here for Hardy. Rote again looks in. With a 2-1 count, he delivers. And that is popped up. And the catcher can't get to it as it's out of play. That one bounces off the roof of the locker room area. Comes right back into the field. 2-1. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2. So down to their final strike here are the Dogs. Here's Hardy at the plate. Rote on the mound. It looks in. Rote trying to put an end to it right here. Here's the 2-2. And down low for ball 3. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dogs continue to battle here. Hardy battling at the plate. Let's see who wins this contest here between pitcher and batter. 3-2. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that is popped foul. And we will continue with the 1 strike left here for the hopes of the Dogs. 3-2. McCoy Rote is the pitcher. Jake Hardy the batter. 3-2. Rote looks in. Wheels and deals. Here's the pitch. And it's high for ball 4. And this ball game will continue as Hardy walks.
Now batting for your dog, shortstop number 17 from Dominican University, Byron Arias.
So here's Byron Arias. So a fresh start here for the Dogs with another batter. Now with runners on first and second with 2 outs. Here's Rote with the pitch. And that ball hit to the second baseman, scoops it up, throws over to first, and that will do it. And the Stallions win this one 15-8, beating the Dogs. I'm Pete Pagliaro, bringing you all the action. Thanks for tuning in. Back here on Sunday night. Join us. Have a good night.
We're out on the field and we're ready to play. We're all suited up, we got a game today. We're gonna play fast and we're gonna play hard. Gonna knock that ball right out of the yard. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go, Dogs! We got a guy on third and nobody out. It's time to stand up, yes, it's time to shout. We're playing some ball and we're having some fun. Come on, boys, let's score that run. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go, Dogs! We're out on the field and we're ready to play. We're all suited up, we got a game today. We're gonna play fast and we're gonna play hard. Gonna knock that ball right out of the yard. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go, Dogs! 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 Don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler.